spent most of the night kind of just reading and going through them all to get my questions answered. It was about 2 hours worth of work, but then I kept just reading and.
But when you got them, right, like any other sort of tome or informational book, there's like X number of hours to read each one and understand the contents.
No, because these. No, we have not done that. If you wanted to fully read, he skimmed them the first time he got them and got the gist of what each of them were about, and then so far has sort of been reading them to specifically answer questions.
Yeah, and I used the Medal of Wit to aid me in my first investigation check into the books, because that lasts for an hour. So I spent an hour and looked at her current journals, and that's where I did my first bit of research. And then after our encounter with the elephant, I wanted to go look at the stuff on Ruidium a little bit closer, and then
Yeah,
So.
I would say if you wanted to fully just read them and have a grasp of what they hold and all of that, it would take probably 10 hours apiece for the one on Ruidus and the Calamity, and then like 5 hours total on the her personal journal.
Okay.
The last one. Mm-hmm.
Well, I put in however many hours I could last night, so.
Say
and then that's
6 hours divided
6
amongst those as you will.
Sure.
Not counting the 2 hours for specific questions.
Yeah. So those hours for specific questions, do those count to the overall 10?
Nope, those will be for specific things. If you're searching through for answers to specific questions, it'll be different time tallies than just like reading and absorbing.
Okay, so I'll put 2 hours into each one of them then, and then.
And that's like that's your 8 hours of invested work time. If it was crafting a potion or a magic item, it's sort of, yeah, I like the mechanic there.
Okay.
5e did such a terrible job with all of this that these things that we've grandfathered in from older versions of play experience work just fine.
Yeah. I'm all for finding a playable solution. That's
well, some of the different magic item books that you can get in the DMG have rules like that. Like if you get the Book of Exalted Deeds, you spend X number of hours researching, and.
But then you get a measurable gain at the end of that, right? Like your whatever goes up by certain X amount of points. We'll say if you finish these, you can I can either send you like the rundown on what I know about these things, which is fine, or you can have like unlimited questions about them until the end of time, basically.
That's probably the mechanical thing. So I can imagine that if we're in the middle of a situation, did I read something in the journal about such and such, and then
totally
roll it and play it out or something like that.
For sure. Okay. Remind me when you have hit the hours on that, so I don't question you questioning everything, and I just give you the answers.
Got it.
And I will go study up on the Calamity.
How about when I reach the 10, I can go pick up that new Tal'Dorei source book and just read the Calamity stuff myself.
Hey man, you can pick up the Tal'Dorei source book if you want. We're not going to Tal'Dorei. you can go read through that.
See, I don't even know what the different continents in this world are.
Marquette, Isilra, Tal'Dorei, and Wildmount, and y'all started on Wildmount.
All right.
Cool. Your morning is yours. If you're gonna wait around the harried mongoose until Prolix contacts you, that sounds good. He will do so probably about mid-morning. He'll you get a message from Prolix who says, if you're still interested in in a little work at the Life Dome. I think I have something for you. If you would like to meet today at the eastern entrance to the River District, that sounds great. And you can reply to this message.
See you there.
The western district is western entrance would be a little closer to where we are.
Is that the message? Is that all you say back?
You sure you don't?
You get another message from Prolix that says, "The Eastern District is more convenient for me. Please don't make me cast message again." You can reply to this message.
You will be there. Shut up.
Very good. Then,
so can we just walk through that central area, or we have to be escorted?
Yeah, you can walk through the River District. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just can't go inside the Life Dome.
Life Dome.
Essentially, the Life Dome itself which beautiful. You would have noticed last night as you took a trip around them, is that of all the things that are guarded here, the Life Dome is the most the most attended.
Okay, makes sense.
Sure. And we'll say that Prolix told you 1 o'clock to meet at the eastern entrance to the River District. And it's about 11 a.m. now. Y'all can start your very slow stroll through the River District, or hit up someplace for lunch, or linger around the outside of the steam gardens, smelling the good smells.
It's too painful.
Until it's time for you to go meet Prolix. Whatever you would like to do.
We could take a nice stroll.
Yeah, beautiful. Point out.
Take a lingering stare.
Notable things that he saw. Get a good layout of the all of
exit
the
strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
For when we start blowing things up and unleashing elephants in the middle of the place.
Right.
You know, if we had that elephant, I almost wonder if we should have just kept the damn elephant and figured out how to use it for ourselves and just, oh well, I guess we didn't get our 100 gold. But then we wouldn't have. But then we wouldn't have had our tour of the River District coming up here. So.
And we would have an unstable magical elephant.
Yeah,
I feel confident I could have figured out
what ruidium rot.
What?
I feel confident I could figure out how to use it.
We don't have a bag of holding, right? So what would it do on someone's bag if it just expanded?
Here's the thing: we don't have a bag of holding yet. I can make a bag of holding, but then Silco loses his gun powers, his extra gun bonuses, because I can only enchant so many things. When I get to level 8, I can, or level whatever, I can enchant something else, and then I'll make us a bag of holding.
That's insane. Artificers.
But I can actually make a bag of holding.
Feel so limited. If you have need of a thing, like it's nice to have a nice magical thing, and believe me, as far as damage.
Well, we stumble across a dragon horde. Trust me, we're getting ourselves a bag of holding if I stumble across a dragon horde or something.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Actually, I think it would actually mess up because again, it goes in order of what I've just infused last. So I think I'd lose my bonus on my sword or something.
Yeah, you'd lose that, but then you'd have to get that
restore,
back.
Get that back. I'd eventually cycle through them all, but I think it takes every long rest I can do another one or something. I think is how it works. I got to read it again. Anyway, yeah. So it's a little limited there. I got to pay attention to what thing I did first, second, and third.
Long-term projects.
Long-term projects.
All right, you amble your way through the River District. It is verdant and lush, as Beautiful described it.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, you lead the way proudly, I imagine, through the place that you have scouted so diligently.
I'm helping.
You are helping. You're doing a good job. To the eastern side of the River District, where the familiar figure of Prolix Yusuf waits for all of you, and he waves to you all and puts a little tablet away as you all approach him, and he says, "Good afternoon. How are all of you today? Did you sleep well at the Harried Mongoose?"
Surprisingly, it was quite lovely.
They're pretty nice over there. They do a good job. So let's go let's take a little walk in the river district, shall we? And he starts to lead you down sort of a side path that's not very crowded. And as you all walk together, he says, all right, so essentially, I'm sorry to have kept you all in the dark about this, but the Allegiance of All Sight knows where Kale Morrow is. We've been investigating, excavating it for months now. It's what that big old hole over in the Sigil District is. That leads down to Kale Morrow. And I talked to my superiors about it, and they said they'd be pretty happy to let you guys go down in there. But we do have a little favor that the Allegiance wants you to do first, for which they'd be happy to pay you 300 gold for the lot of you. Does that sound amenable to all of you?
What's the job?
What's the favor? Yeah.
Well, you all were pretty right on the money when you guessed that there might be an entrance to Kilmaro in the River District. It is where our water comes from, at least passes through there somehow. And there has to be some connection to Kilmaro because it is all underwater right now. So, but we currently haven't been able to find this back entrance, we'll call it. But it seems like somebody has, and we're not happy about it. So we would like it if you all would go in there and take a look and see if you can find this back entrance, and if you can, stop whoever's been using it to get into our excavation and steal our artifacts. One of which was the elephant that you retrieved for us yesterday, for which we're all very grateful.
So this elephant came from Kelmoro?
That's correct.
All right. And then they're selling it off, and I'll let you know that the pawn shop dealer indicated that it came from the
Red team.
Crimson, the red team. Yeah.
The consortium.
Yep.
I'll let him know, but that's what we suspect
We
too.
all give us
Okay, so we're totally
20
gonna run.
perspective.
Yeah, we're totally gonna run into the B team down here, aren't we? So when we run into the B team and we stop them, Ikif, are you gonna help us stop them?
Oh, yeah.
Or are you gonna help them stop us?
No. Why do you think the B team would be down here? I'd be more.
Because they're working for the red team.
Oh, well. If they get access to this that early, they just joined, then they must have done something really, really, really good. I'd be more worried about running into Eloisha down here.
All right. Hey, you said it right.
I feel like I should say that no one is allowed access to the ruins of Kael'Maro except the Allegiance, and that anyone else down there has used some nefarious means to get there. And hopefully, if you find whatever this entrance is in the River District, if there is one at all, we can stop that from happening, and then you won't run into any of those folks down there.
Nefarious means.
But it's all underwater?
It is all underwater, yes. There are rooms that we have cleared out and warded to be full of air so that we can walk around in there and set up a home base, but generally speaking, the ruins are underwater.
Okay, but we're going into the River District side, not through your hole in the Sigil District, right?
Well, I don't know if you're going in at all. You're just going there to look for an entrance, and hopefully whoever's been meddling.
Okay, but we're going to the River District to look for an entrance that may or may not be there?
Correct. You're going in the life dome.
Okay. And if something's there, we take care of it. What if nothing's there?
If nothing's there, then nothing's there. And they report back that you didn't find anything. But I seriously doubt that that's the case.
All right.
Prolix,
So-
can I ask you a question? Something troubling me here.
Sure.
This Kael'Maro, its ruins are 1,000 years old.
That's the one.
Buried under your city.
Mm-hmm.
Still somehow the source of life for the last pocket of civilization on this entire barren and desolate continent.
Yep.
What gives your fancy House of Wizards sole rights of access and control to something like that?
We found it first.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
It's been there for 1,000 years and we found it first. That's all I can say about it.
That's most of the time a good enough claim until somebody else who can take it stronger comes
Right.
along.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw what the ruidium elephant did in the market. You know, imagine just opening up an excavation full of that stuff to anyone who wanted. That seems like a pretty bad idea to me.
So you're the official
I'm just
spell.
asking question.
Sure.
You're
Yeah.
you're the official wizarding school of the city, though, so that's the reason why you get special permission from the powers that be. Is you're
No, it's-
official?
Rocker, you're assuming a lot that the powers that be in this city even know that place exists.
Oh, Jamont Saord knows that it exists. I mean, I would be shocked if they didn't know that it existed long before any of the rest of us knew that it existed.
Wait, the headman in this city's name is Ord?
Oh,
Yeah,
and then their hand.
Yes.
And that's their
Jamont
hand.
Saord
Wow.
is
Wow.
Trip. Hope we don't run
Man.
into that guy. Unless he's really rich and generous.
You don't know
Yeah.
about Jamont Saord?
I was actually just
We're
gonna ask.
We're new to this
I guess.
continent.
Do you want to tell them, or should I?
They didn't ask, and I haven't mentioned it, but you know, maybe you should.
Well, now I want to see what you say to them.
Well, somebody say something. What do we got?
It's the kind of a name that you feel like people toss around and everyone's just expected to know. Is he made of gold?
Close.
Brass. Yes, made of brass.
Oh,
And yeah, founded this place many centuries ago.
Centuries.
Centuries.
Hold on. Don't say it because we all know it. But I just want to see what I roll. So it's like some kind of a golem.
Oh, Silco, buddy. No. No. The original founder of this city, Jamont Saord, is a brass dragon. And there's a lot of rumors about whether or not it's the same guy who's still running the place, or if he's got a group of folks who run the day to day, or even if he's still here at all. But Jamont Saord is not a city head that you want to mess with.
all right. And he's got
He knows
hands.
more than the rest of us put together.
Yeah.
And
Well,
most of the
just
time, if you deal with anything, it'll be with, I don't know if I say their name right, Jimashega?
Gemashega, yes.
Gimashega.
The Grand Maven.
Yes.
all right.
That's his, who you'd be dealing with if you ran into anyone that's active.
The figurehead,
Yes.
so to speak.
The Grand Maven.
The Grand Maven of Ank'Harel, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you better hope that nobody's getting down into doing what they're not supposed to be doing in the Life Dome, or else they're going to run into the hands of Drocker, is what I got to say. So.
Very intimidating.
Very intimidating. They crackle a little electricity as I'm holding them up. Yep.
Don't stick those in any water.
Yeah.
So, are we can you give us clearance to, get pretty deep, scoping out the river district?
Yeah, we're going in the dome.
You're going in. You're going in the Life Dome.
Let's do it.
We can go there right now if y'all are ready. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
He will lead you towards the center of the river district and up to the Life Dome. Let me
You're from a wizarding school. Do you have like water breathing potions or something for my friends who don't have a scuba diving suit like me?
Yeah, but I don't think you're gonna have to go underwater for this one.
Okay.
Do you? I mean,
when has anything gone according to plan the entire time we've been here? I was supposed to go in and spend 30 gold to buy a stupid little trinket in a gift shop, and all of a sudden it almost killed our bird friend over here. So nothing's going according to plan. I'm just asking.
I guess that's true. I don't have any potions of water breathing on me. I didn't really think about it before he left. But I guess if you need, then you can ask Carlisle. Carlisle's in charge of the Life Dome, and we're gonna go meet him.
All right.
So that he can show you around the place. But honestly, if you have to go underwater for this, then I think things might be worse than we thought.
Hey, you know
Sounds
the lay
right.
of the
Yep.
land. Prolix, not us. I guess we'll just follow and learn.
Yep.
Very good.
So you all go up to the edge of the Life Dome, which is an enormous glass dome with pipes that sort of run up and around it that take up the fresh water of Ank'Harel when it's not needed and store it and release it when it is needed. And you all, at the edge of the dome, you meet a small gnome who waves to all of you. He's in the same sort of blue robes as Prolix is. Is Prolix in blue? I don't remember. He's in the same
those were-
uniform as Prolix of the Crystal Chateau, and he waves to all of you, and he says, "Afternoon, everyone. I'm Carlisle Krugen. Pleased to meet ya. This here's my domain. I rarely get visitors, so it's a pleasure to have all of you. Come on in. I'll give you the tour. Prolix, thanks a lot. I can handle it from here." And Prolix waves to you all and says,
Anything else before I go? No, nothing. All right.
Nothing.
Was not.
Nope.
I guess
Well-
Carlisle's got it from here.
Come find me if you find anything, and I guess if you don't find anything, and I'll get you paid either way.
All right.
Thanks
Way
for
to go,
Great.
Carlisle.
He waves and Carlisle leads you inside. The inside of the dome is humid and sweltering and thick with condensation. There is the smell of damp earth that hits your senses, along with this blast of hot air. Inside the dome, there's a series of crystal bridges that span the oasis's 60-foot diameter lake on the interior of the dome. The edges of the dome are lined with vegetation. Any of you have a passive perception of 17 or higher?
Nope.
I don't
Nope.
think so, no.
That's a hell of a passive perception.
Yeah, this is the dome. It's hot and sticky and very sweaty in here. And Carlisle leads you in and gestures off to the right and says, that's one of our maintenance shacks over there. That's where I generally get my tools from. That over there is the lake. That's where our water comes from. Do you have any questions about the Life Dome in general? I'd be happy to answer any of them. I only ever get to do this with small children, and they always just ask if there are bugs in the water.
Are there bugs in the water?
Yes, of course there are bugs in the water.
So, we're going in here. You've
I know why you're here.
Who-
I know why you're
yeah,
here. I know
so why?
the whole deal.
Has anybody else? What other people have been coming in here lately? I mean, you work at the Life Dome.
I haven't seen anybody out of the ordinary come in here. At least not during daylight hours. I can't really speak for what happens at night, but you know, things are business as usual on this end. As far as I could tell, things are not business as usual on the other end of things, which is why they're suspicious of this to begin with. Carlisle is telling the absolute truth. Very
Okay.
he's
Okay,
very
good.
straightforward.
All right. I was
So
gonna say,
where,
no, I don't know.
where would I mean? This place is pretty big. The whole point is we don't even. There isn't an entrance directly down into the city from here, and that's the thing we're looking for in this whole dome. Or is
That's
there
correct.
like okay? I didn't know if there was like
We don't.
you're going to
we
lead us
suspect
into
there is-
someplace.
No, sir. We suspect there is an entrance somewhere in here, but we have not been able to pinpoint where that might be, or indeed if it exists at all. But
All right,
the
then
suspicion is concrete enough that you folks are here to take a look, as far as
Oh,
I understand it.
How many people work in here?
Oh, 4 of us rotate out every now and then, but really most of it is Most of it is automated. This place is a real wonder of modern magic.
All right.
Is there any protection from it? Like, does it lock down? There's magic barriers or anything like that?
Well, the only way in is the way you came in, and it's generally manned by a couple of the Hands of Ord. So it's pretty hard to get in and out of here without being seen.
But magic, you can come in and out if you were capable.
I don't see why not.
You can do a lot. Yeah. It's... Okay. Let us.
What's at the bottom?
Let's
of
go
the
look
lake?
around.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the lake, you're gonna have to take a dip. As far as I know, there's a nice little bit of silt down there. It feels real nice between your toes. But apart from
We've
that, you're gonna have to check it out yourself.
We've
How deep
specifically
is it?
been told we don't need to get wet. That's sounds like horseshit to me. All right.
How deep?
Oh, it varies. Varies from day to day, depending on what the waters are doing. Today it's I think it's 5 feet at its deepest.
Oh,
right. Let's get our toes wet.
Are these all trees?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What happened over here?
Oh, natural erosion came on. It's just that one died and fell over. We've been meaning to cart it out of here, but haven't had the chance.
We're in here, Carlisle. That's your house over there.
That's where we stay when we're overseeing the Life Dome, and that's where all our tools come from. Yes.
Can I leave some stuff with you before we come back?
Sure. I don't see why not.
I want to go leave the things I don't want getting wet, which might end up happening, like valuable one-of-a-kind journals and books that I have.
Smart.
Oh, sure. You don't want to take them books into the water. Definitely
No,
not.
definitely not. And just so I just pack up my backpack and pretty much just bring my. Oh, I can actually sort it here. How's it all sorted? Yeah. So.
damn it! You're right.
Really just bring in my tools and my weapons and anything else I'm not worried about. I don't have much. So, but yeah, I don't want those books getting wet if I have to
Of course
go
not.
swimming for
Smart.
some
Yeah,
reason.
definitely not.
Just put these in a safe place. I need to. Yep.
I mean, I guess we just.
I have a couple odd bits to tuck into your bag for the time being.
Yeah, if anybody wants to shove a couple things in my bag, just.
I mean, we
We'll
still
just
have
keep-
our rooms, right? I don't know if I'm carrying my violin around town.
Yeah. Yep. You're not a bard. You don't need to carry your violin around town. Wonder what kind of violins they sell here. Some fancy
Right.
desert violin, right? All right, cool. Let's go inside. Let's go. If I need to, I can make myself breathe underwater if I need to, if it comes down to it.
So hold on,
So-
because the lake's a 60-foot diameter, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Has the green space around the lake been thoroughly explored and turned over?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that too. Yeah, it's just
Okay.
I just didn't want to. The city, the place we're actually looking for is underwater, so I didn't want to. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's start going south, make our way around the ring.
Yeah. Let's do all the dry land stuff and take a nice slow pass. I'm gonna go ahead and cast see invisibility.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good thinking.
Get that up and running.
Very nice. I'll put my eyes of the eagle on.
Yep.
Dial them in.
And looking for anything, any openings, any crevices, any caves, manhole covers.
In the perception check.
Sure. All of you make your perception checks. Huh? Uh-huh.
What do your elf eyes see? So go.
I don't know. I have 22 vision. I mean, that's pretty legit.
That is pretty legit. Silco, you notice in as you're walking the edge of this dome, you notice that it seems like there might be something swimming in the canal here that's around the lake. Like there's there's the lake in the center, and then all of the spokes of all the canals also originate from this point, right? So there's a
Right.
little bit of canal inside this dome.
And the crystal bridges that go over.
And the crystal bridges cross each of them exactly. And as you're crossing them, you look down into the water and see the motion of swimming, like as though they're the ley lines of something that has been swimming in there, but you don't actually see the thing. But Drocker, you do. You see what looks like a figure made of wind or like wispy smoke moving through the water.
There's something in the water. Something.
What?
I kind of quietly let you know.
Yeah, we signal to where the movement is, but just be like, shit,
Yeah.
See where it goes.
Um,
Where it came in from, where the canal comes from the outside, right?
Mhm.
It swam in from the outside using the canal. So there's only one door in and out. What's the protection situation on the canals themselves?
You're gonna go down and take a look.
Well, can I see
asking
where the
Carline,
canal?
right?
Like I'm watching. I'm looking down to where the canal goes out to the edge of the dome. How does it? Is there
The edge of the dome
iron
comes
bars?
down and extends into the water, and you would assume that there's probably a grate underneath that or something that would filter the water in some way and prevent things from getting in or out.
how far away is it?
The edge of the dome is probably
No, the thing I saw swimming in the water.
it's under you on this bridge, so it's 45 feet away, getting further.
There we go. Very fire.
Fairy fire.
Oh,
Fairy fire.
In case you didn't see it, guys.
Fairy fire. Fairy fire.
now we know it's there. Well, if y'all gonna draw down on it, you know what Soko will be doing. Give me a minute. Lauren just got the kids home. I'm gonna help her get them settled real quick. I'll be back.
All right.
Very good.
Play on by all means.
Drocker, you point down at the thing that you saw moving, and just as it dips under the water, you alight it in fairy fire, and you see it swimming down the canal away from you.
All right.
But
It
there
didn't
is.
react. It didn't seem to react to being fairy fired.
It ducked under the water and is going further down and away from you. It seems to be retreating.
All right.
I would
Cool.
try to get up and fly and try to follow it as long as I can see it.
Yeah. Keep an eye on it, Ike. If whatever direction it's going, I want to try and I'm trying to. So this canal on this side of the map is like outside is up this way and towards the lake is down this way. Am I reading that right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. And we're just on the bank of it here and okay.
Yeah. And it's swimming towards the lake.
Okay. Hey down there, we see you.
There's no response.
All right.
But now that you look, you can see another shape in the water as well.
It didn't get caught up in my fairy fire.
It did not get caught in your fairy fire. There's definitely more than one.
Do we attack?
Do we
I
know
mean,
what
they're
it
not
is?
really doing anything. They're just swimming in there.
And if we
Yeah.
So
find an entrance,
Well, we're supposed to stop the entrance is what we're doing. Well, let's see which way they go because that'll
let's find
tell
the
us where.
entrance first.
Well, Ike, if you keep an eye on that one that I lit up for you.
Okay. I'll follow it.
Okay.
Great. Ike, if you are following that one, Drocker, what are you doing?
I start moving down towards the lake so I can be as close as I can down there. Yeah.
How close are you staying to the the one that's currently underneath the water?
The second one I saw, or the
first one with the fairy fire.
oh, okay. As close as I can. Yeah.
The second one is staying pretty is getting pretty close to that one as well.
Okay.
And it looks like there might be a third in this group. It's a little bit hard to tell. They're far enough under the water and they're so wispy that it's tough to gauge how many there are altogether, even with your invisibility. While we wait for our boys to get back, let's also take a break
Okay.
for a second, because
Sure.
I'm gonna have you roll for initiative pretty quick here.
All right.
Sounds good. I'll go get more coffee.
Sorry about that. You're muted?
Yes, because the rest of us took a break.
Oh.
While you and Matt were both gone.
Yeah. Monty's house sitting again, so that leaves me putting the chickens away.
Chickens are a lot.
It's funny. She's from LA, right? So all chickens, animals, the woods, everything's magical to her, and everything's cool and special. And I grew up on all this, and I'm like, I'm so done with chickens, animals. I don't care about the trees.
Aw, that's too bad.
I'm
I get that though, where you're just like, yeah, I lived with it. It's nice.
yeah.
Yeah. We had chickens for a long time, and they get to be a pain after a while.
Yeah. I've gone into more of a practical mindset. They're good for the eggs, but like, yeah. Alright. So what did I miss?
See the turn
yet?
order up.
Yes, neither of you really missed very much. We took a little break. Drocker is moving down towards the lake next to the invisible stalkers. Drocker, I'm just gonna put you over by the folks. Ikif is in the air, over them, and yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah. And if like I have to like dive down just to hover over the water as they like because the trees overhang. I don't want to lose sight. Like I don't want to fly over a tree and then lose sight of the target. I want to whatever I have to do to keep sight on it.
So
Mhm,
this way is the lake down the canal, like towards the
This
top.
way,
Of
South-
down
south is the lake.
the lake. South is the
South
lake.
is the lake.
Yeah.
And this rope is.
That
there,
rope
not
is there. We'll say it's grating to catch dead leaves and things like that.
Okay. There's, and I let you know there's more than one in there. I only fairy fired one, but there's more than one in there.
Did I
And-
see where the other? Did I see that one that he fairy fired? Did I see anything else?
Yes, you can all see that one he fairy fired because it is now outlined in.
But with the
fairy
initial
fire.
22 on the perception, did I see any movement anywhere else?
No, you just saw that one. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, which Stalker can tell you is because the other two are, or the other X amount of whatever is in there are underwater.
Where'd you land
Jello.
that fairy fire there, Drocker?
Sorry, hold on. I'm getting bombarded with things from my kids here. Hold on a
Okay.
second.
No, no.
What was the question to me?
Yellow.
What color is the fairy fire?
Where did you land the fairy fire?
I don't know, like there.
Yeah, you aimed it directly at the thing that you saw
Yeah.
in the water, which is where it currently is.
Okay. And yeah, red fairy fire. Yep. Cool. So are we?
Are we rolling initiative before anything else happens?
Actually, I'm gonna zap it with electricity before initiative if possible. I'm just gonna kick the thing off.
If you're gonna do even more, then I would want to roll fairy fire. I would want to throw fairy fire too.
I would say that you can get off that first fairy fire, and then we are going to roll initiative for the rest of it.
All right.
Okay. So that first fairy fire that I rolled, and then
Yes, that first fairy fire that you rolled.
Okay, initiative it is.
Has triggered the.
That's what I asked if that
Yeah,
caused
I
any
would say-
reaction out of them when they did that.
It certainly should. They're
Yeah.
aware
Its
of it.
reaction was flight, as far as you know.
All right.
Do you have the alert feat, Silka?
No.
You have a +8 on initiative?
Yes.
He's a dexterity
The-
fighter.
The gunslinger gets their proficiency to initiative.
Oh, that's be why. You imagine that
Yeah.
and alert, you're always going first.
Oh my gosh. What's alert? Is that advantage?
No, it's like a +4 or something, or +5.
Mhm.
It's just like a straight up.
Yeah.
bonus.
It's just a straight up addition to your initiative roll.
And you can't be
it's pretty wild.
surprised.
That's pretty good.
Uh,
I need to find that.
Pockets used to be able to add his charisma modifier to his initiative rolls for being so cavalier.
Mhm.
I think that's what it was.
Quick draw. You add your proficiency bonus to your initiative. You can also stow a firearm and draw another firearm as a single object interaction on your turn.
Mm.
So I can
Beautiful.
switch it up.
What's your dexterity?
Beautiful.
13.
Alrighty. Then unfortunately, the one that Drocker hit with fairy fire is going first. And it is Ikif, how far above the surface of the water are you?
I would only go down low if tree branches made me, so I'd be a minimum probably 20 feet above the water.
Okay, that's fine. What you see then below you is something fluid and airy aligned in this red fairy fire bursts up out of the water and flies directly at you from underneath, and is going to make 2 attacks on you as it flies up into you. Let's go. 17 to hit.
Exactly.
And another 17. Then you take 21 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing crashes into you. And you feel some of your bones that were a little delicate from yesterday maybe snap a little bit, and your wing starts to hurt as this thing hits you with the full force of its being.
Yikes.
And it entangles with you, and the two of you are engaged in combat in the air. That's it for that one. Beautiful. You are up. You see this one airy thing lined in red attacking Ikif in the air as it previously burst out of the river. And Drucker has said there are more under the water.
How is the momentum of the water? Is it like slow, like pretty good pace?
It's pretty lazy.
Lazy?
Yeah.
Okay. So I should be able to go in there. And then how deep did they say it was?
The canals are about 3 feet deep. The lake gets about 5 feet deep.
That's right. That's what Carlisle said. Okay, so I should be able to stand in this, right?
Yeah, definitely.
No.
Yeah, you especially, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, I will absolutely full on just bodily leap at the one that is fairy fired. And is it in the air still?
It's
is it
in
coming
the
back
air
down?
with Ikif. I think they're both about 20 feet above the surface of the river.
Okay, and we're gonna rage, and then we're going to huck 2 javelins at the one that is close to Ikif.
There you go.
And we're
That's
gonna
what's happening to
do.
you, Ikif.
Oh no! Wait. Javelin is. I want to do. Okay, never mind. Okay, so I can't do that. I was going to do reckless attack, but it's only melee strength based. So this is regular, just javelins. First one, second one. Ugh. Wow. All right, something's going on. What are the odds of that?
Well, you hit with the second one, that's for sure. You
7
hit
and a 24 twice?
with the second one.
Little
And your
dodgy.
javelin
Same
goes
damage.
yeah, that's pretty wild. That's
and same damage.
That's pretty.
Come on.
I don't know how much I love Roll20's magic number
What's
random
going
number
on over
generator.
there?
Yeah. Questionable.
All right, one of your javelins tears through it and leaves a little bit of a hole that sort of knits itself back together for after a second. And anything else
weird.
for you, beautiful?
I raged. I don't know if I mentioned that. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
Fantastic.
good.
Then you're good. Then you're good and angry. Silco Marcon, it's your turn.
Rocker, where are the others?
There. Can I see? Can I still see the other one? I saw one other one. Can I see the other one that I saw still, or did it?
Yes,
slip
you
out of
see
view?
the shape of it is underneath the water, somewhere around here.
Okay.
Back there?
Yep.
Yeah, coming up. It was just out of range. But it's heading this way, and I kind of point.
Okay. Then I'm gonna throw a fairy fire over in that direction.
Alrighty, where are you putting it?
Let's see. He cast his on that one, so 10, 20. We'll do 5 more feet. That's the spot. So that'd be Yeah, 20-foot box around that.
Neato. Very good. Dexterity saves.
And before I even know whether or not that's effective, here
Uh-huh.
we go. Action surge. And I better not miss as I take aim for the one that's got Ikif in his grasp there.
Very good. You look at where your fairy fire went, and you see it move around something that was definitely there, and it fades as it doesn't
Didn't take. What a junk. Just a one something over there, huh? Okay.
Uh-huh. Dang, Silco. That hits it for sure. Done hit it.
Alrighty.
Hey, Silco, is the Moon Dancer magic?
It is.
Fantastic.
Thank goodness for Drocker's widgets.
God, I love that. That's
Mhm.
great. That's
Thank
great.
goodness for Drocker's widgets.
Magic widgets. 22 damage total then?
Looks like it to me. 8
Great.
plus 8. Yeah, I did not get that beautiful crit, but that's okay.
That's pretty good. You still see it. You see it tear through that airiness, and the holes that your bullets left were a little more permanent than the javelin that Beautiful threw.
You know what? I'm actually sorry, not to make things tough, but just in case, I want to re-roll that 2 for a 10. How about that?
Nice.
All
There you
right.
go.
Oh, okay, that's better than the crit. Damn.
Pretty good.
8 more damage.
Good job. Anything else for you, Silco Morcone?
Hell no, that was a great turn.
That was a great turn. That was a great turn. And as you finish firing at your friend, you see something else come up out of the water, sort of close to where your fairy fire was, and then nothing. And then you feel a breeze at your back as something comes at you.
What?
That's refreshing on my sunburn.
It misses the first time, so you feel a gust of air just like blow past your ear, and you move to the side like you're getting out of the way, and then the second one hits you square in the back, and I think you stumble forward a little bit as you take 8 bludgeoning damage from this thing that has hit you. And Drocker, you can see it; it is right there.
Yep.
But none of the rest of you can.
All right.
And that's that one. And then there is a second splash of water from where you fired, Silco. And another one comes up, and this one is going to join its fellow in going at you, Silco. And this time you feel the air in front of you.
I hold my breath.
13 will not hit you.
13's not going to do it.
But a 19 will, I presume.
Unfortunately, yes. I cannot dodge
This
19.
Yep. This next one slams you in the chest as you stumbled forward. It's like you stumbled into it, and it comes at you and just feels like a punch straight to the chest. You take 9 additional bludgeoning damage. And Drocker, you can see that one is directly in front of Silco. They have flanked him.
Flanked him. All right.
And Drocker, now you are up. There is one in front of and one behind Silco, and the one engaged with Ikif in the air.
All right. I'm going to see, all my best spells are gonna totally destroy Silco, and beautiful. We're already getting beat up. I'm gonna go ahead and go with magic missiles.
That's a good
And I
one.
will throw 1 to the one in front and 2 to the one behind. And they're right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I need to do it. And so the first one is to the one in front, and then I haven't even seen the rolls yet, but oh, I rolled 1 too many. So 3 to the one in front, and then 4 to the one behind. Just boom,
Very
boom, boom.
good.
They're right there, beautiful. And yeah, if you guys can get out of the way, I can, if you can back up at all, and if they stay on me, I can do some pretty serious damage to them. But yeah.
All right,
Just
that's
give
it
me
for
the
you,
chance
Jocker.
And I will
That's it.
disengage the hell out of this.
Yep.
Ikif, you're up.
Epic air battle. I'm swirling in the air as this thing is all over me. And for flavor, I'm throwing out not just punches, but some kicks too.
Oh
And
yeah,
so
get those clawed feet.
yeah. My unarmed attacks are magical because I am super magic monk.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So does a 13 hit this air thing? Probably not.
A 13 will miss.
Oh no, fair fire. I have advantage on it, so 19.
You do advantage, so 19.
That's
You will
right.
hit it. You will.
Okay.
Yeah. You claw it pretty readily.
So 8,
Nice.
and then another one. 22 for another 5.
Oh yeah.
Boom, boom. I'm gonna use a key point to disengage
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to be.
That's a great thing to be able to spend a key point on and
Yeah, it
not have
is.
to lose your action.
And I'm
Yeah.
going to
Midair.
boom. Let's see. Fly. I don't know how fast that thing can move. I don't want to fly too far. 60 feet this way.
Nice.
Yeah.
I assume that's it.
Yep,
I assume that's it for you,
it.
Silko. Very good. Very, very good. Next it is the Stalker's turn, the one that is coming for you, Silko, and it's gonna hiss, let out this long, airy howl, and come for you. And it can get
man.
right up next
Whoa.
to you.
Zipped
and
right
it's-
over.
I
It's
underestimated
gonna-
its speed.
It's gonna pop you twice. An 11 will not hit you. A 16?
No.
Twice.
Wow.
Twice it misses. It comes after you. It gives chase and misses you twice. Beautiful. You are up.
Seeing the magic missiles that exploded next to Silco, he will take a wild swing there, right?
Sure. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's
Okay, so this is
where.
going to be, because it's invisible, it's going to be with disadvantage, except he's going to,
Yes.
let's
Yes.
see.
Do it.
So I guess he can, well, he's got multiple javelins. So what is it to unsheath a weapon? Can you do it as part of a move, or does it take your move?
No, it's part of a move to unsheath a weapon. If you want to
Okay.
switch weapons or unsheath a weapon, it's just part of your attack action.
Okay. Then doing that, and he's going to swing the great axe with reckless attack, so that it's just going to be straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 2 swings.
Yes. That first one, you feel it connect with something solid. You
Nice.
feel it just cleave through something, and then you guess it must have moved a little bit for the second one because you try to go through the same spot and you get just air. But you definitely hit it that first time around.
Okay, so
Really
then
definitely glad you didn't have disadvantage on that second one.
yes, yeah,
Then you took off
swing
Silka's
vertical, not horizontal.
My
Okay, and
sunburned
then,
ear no longer a problem.
because Drocker said he had something planned, then I'm going to fall back, taking whatever hits they might try and throw my way.
Yes, there will be some attacks of opportunity. That is for sure. But with a 13 and a 10, I think they both miss you.
They do, just barely.
And although you attacked recklessly, so
I did
they
attack
get
reckless. I was just going to say
advantage.
yes.
So does a 16 hit you?
Yes.
Then you feel the first one just as air as it claws past you, and the second one gets you pretty good as it slams into you as you retreat, and you take 13 bludgeoning damage, so halved for you,
Yep.
Rager. And then you're off. Silco, you are up. You can
Watching
feel the presence of these two things.
Beautiful get beat on by the air as he runs. Like, you're a braver man than me. I tuck and roll, disengage, and boosh into the water. It's 3 feet deep, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
Yes,
not
it's
going to
3 feet
drown in
deep.
it.
No.
I'll take myself there. And bonus action, second wind.
Very good.
Good roll.
Nice.
Nice roll. Okay.
That's
and
great.
That's me.
Yeah.
Rocker, do your stuff.
Yep. All yours, buddy.
But first,
All right.
They're first.
But first, the stalkers. The one that one of them is gonna descend on you, Drocker. You can see it in front of you, just turn
Sure.
towards you and gear up to slam into you.
Good luck.
The first one will miss. It rolled an 11 and then a 24. So the first one, it just sort of like whooshes past you and then comes back around to hit you in the back with that second hit, and you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And then the other stalker is going to
Bring it.
take off in the direction of Beautiful. So you will get an
Opportunity
attack of opportunity. Yep. Go for it.
Nice.
I can use my lightning launcher for my opportunity attack, can't I? So out of my hands, crackling lightning. Yeah.
Oof. Even though you can see it, even though the outline of it is clear to you, it just goes wide, and the thing whooshes off into the air directly at Beautiful, and it's going to make 2 slam attacks on you, Beautiful. A 20 and a 22, unfortunately.
Both will hit.
And it hits you twice in quick succession for a total of 17 bludgeoning damage, which you can have.
Yep.
And then that's it. Drucker, you are up. You can see there's one right there in front of you. There's one right there in front of Beautiful. And then, of course, there is the one that everyone can see that's entangled with Ikif.
Yep. I'm going to try this lightning attack again on... Oh, I know what I could have done. Oh, well. I'm going to go ahead and just shoot the one that's right in front of me with the lightning.
Yeah, sure.
$15 hit it?
15 will hit. Yep. You feel the lightning make a concrete attack on this thing.
And I can maintain it.
Ah.
So now there is Ghostbusters style, something just wrapped up in front of me in electricity, a nice glowing target for Silco.
Very nice. Cool.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm just holding my hands out, just gonna keep charging it.
Oh, cool.
Emperor
Awesome.
Palpatine. Yep, there you
Emperor
go.
Palpatine style. Dope. That's great. Anything else for you, Drocker?
No, I'll just stand there and keep holding it
Cool.
and maintain it.
Ikif, you are up.
Alrighty. Frustrated that I didn't outrun it. As that's right on me.
You fly so slowly.
I thought I flew pretty fast. I
Other things that can fly also fly pretty fast.
yeah.
As it turns out.
Should have taken that extra 5 feet. Maybe it would have mattered.
It would. It would.
I'm
Sorry.
going to turn, continue to fight it with my fists.
Hell yeah, you are.
23 for 9.
Bam.
There you go.
Is it still up or
Oh yes, it is still
Okay.
up.
another one?
Oh no.
Don't get that excited. Yes, definitely.
24 for another 7.
Nice.
Seeing that I'm probably not going to outrun this thing, I'm going to patience defense this time. So I'm going to take the dodge action as a key point.
Very good.
So it has disadvantage on attacks against me.
Awesome. Ain't that all for you?
That's it. Yeah. It still has fairy fire on it, right? Jocker didn't get hit.
It
Lose
does.
concentration.
It does
No,
still have
still
very
good.
fire on it.
Cool.
Drockers,
I did get hit. I didn't make a. I should have made a Constitution something or other.
make your concentration check.
Oh, is it
Um,
a con? Is it even a concentration spell? I don't even know.
It is not.
Yeah,
fairy,
fair-
Oh, no, it is. It is.
Fairy
fire
fire's
is-
concentration, yeah.
I figured.
You took
And-
less than 10 damage, so 10 is what you were aiming for on your constitution save. A-okay. Fairy fire
there you
is
It,
more
Just
than
fine.
more than going strong.
the reach got
um,
extended actually.
Yes, yeah. It whoop, gets a little brighter around the invisible sector, which swoops in at you, Ikif, and tries to slam you twice, with disadvantage. So an 11 and a 7. Well done. You have avoided a fairly significant amount of damage that I rolled.
I was ready to play the fuck out of this monk.
Absolutely, he is. I love it. I love
Just not
IK.
against an elephant.
So this thing just swoops around you and misses you both times. Beautiful, you're up. There is you just got hit by
Yep.
something that's right in front of you.
Got to take a swing.
Go for it.
Perhaps even recklessly, one might say.
I love that.
So yeah, just going toe to toe.
Oh, look at those. Yes,
Nice.
2 reckless
Yeah.
attacks, 2 reckless hits. There you go. You feel the connection.
Don't forget
As
to add
you,
the 2 damage.
You
For both of
cleave into
those?
this thing.
Yeah, this thing made a mistake.
Yeah, it did. It's feeling like it made a mistake. Anything else for you, beautiful?
That's it. No, I'll just if I can keep this thing's attention, that's great.
Silco, you're up.
All right. Let's see. As soon as I was getting my bearings, the plan was always to draw down on the one that is right there within my standard range increment. And visible yet. We got to get that guy off Ikif's back. So first shot on him. And I'm gonna, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You hit it, and see the bullet tear a hole through its airy self.
Okay.
Ikif
Okay.
dodges the bullet nimbly.
Okay, but no good, huh? So let's
Still flying.
do that again. Shot. I have the advantage, so there's no reason to spend it.
Oh, jeez,
Well,
Jesus, Silco.
yeah. Well, when I'm rolling hot, I'm rolling hot. But this time I'm gonna re-roll the damage.
Rolling hot. That was a 13 you rolled in the first one.
I know, but that's the beautiful thing about this incredible.
That's really hot for
I
our
didn't
boy.
cheat to get this attack bonus.
I know, it's just crazy.
No, you just
How it is.
paid your one single mortal soul for it.
I just I have a +5 ability score for the first time ever in D&D 5e. All right,
So proud. We're all very proud of you, Silco.
I've never had a 20 in anything.
It's doing
Anyway,
good things for you, for sure.
9 damage
Yeah.
on the second shot there.
Wonderful. You tear 2 holes in this thing in quick succession, and it looks ragged now. It's like a sheet that has been put through a bundle of rocks. Basically, it's like it had buckshot put through it, but it is still flying. And is that all for you, Soko?
It's not ragged enough. I am going to reload my weapon.
Fantastic.
And that'll be it. The one that Drocker has with its like lightning, is that like visible? Like mechanically, would that offset the disadvantage to attack to its invisibility?
I would say you could make a 50-50 roll to see if it sparked at the moment that you were trying to shoot it, right? So that like
Yeah,
you
give
know,
you that little bit of
give you a little bit, and then you would
and pop.
yeah, exactly. And if you nailed that, you would get a regular roll attack roll, not at disadvantage.
Click.
But you're trying to help your good friend Akif up there in the air. And all right, so it's the one in front of Drocker's turn. Drocker, it is going to swipe at you,
Sure, it will.
trying to take you out. 19 and a 12 to hit you. I assume the 12 does not hit.
19 doesn't hit either.
Hot dang, Drocker.
Yeah, 22. 22 is your target.
Easy crazy. This thing slams itself against you in vain.
Probably my shield. I got my shield.
Yeah, and you just feel these boom, boom directly on you as it comes at you. And then sensing that you're a bad target, it's gonna leave you and go for Silco instead. You are welcome to make an attack of opportunity if you wish.
Sure. So, well, I'm already attacking it, and that's one of the things I'm trying to figure out. So, on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with it, you can deal an extra 1d6 lightning damage to that target. So,
On a hit,
that's where
so you have to.
I have to hit it again, and it does extra 1d6. It's worded very weirdly.
But it's on your turn, right? It also says that. So,
Yeah.
so probably not
Once on each of your
opportunity.
turns, when you hit a creature with it, you can deal an extra 1d6 lightning damage to that target.
Okay. So the next time I hit it, I do 2d6 damage.
That seems correct, yes.
Okay. All right. Then I will try and hit it right now, since that's what I'm using. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so 26 plus 2. So I need to roll an extra d6, right? Or
No,
have to
because
wait
it is not your turn.
Not my turn.
Yeah.
I got it.
But,
Okay.
yeah,
I'm
because
doing
it's
it
a
right.
reaction.
Okay.
But yes, otherwise you are doing it correctly. The lightning zaps it and it goes stiff for a moment and then flies away directly at Silco. But it has used up its attack actions for this turn. The one in front of Beautiful is going to come at you, Beautiful, again. 20 to hit. Yes. 6 bludgeoning damage halved for you, and its second attack misses you, and you feel it go wide. Drocker, you are up. It's your turn.
All right. So the one that was just attacking me goes after him. We just got to do damage to it. Okay. So it's like right here.
Yeah, it's right up here. The
Cool.
square above you, but yes.
Then I will thunder wave it, which is a 15-foot cube, which perfectly fits that space between Silco and I.
Very nice.
I'm sorry, I missed the attack on Silco. What was the
It's moving towards you. It hasn't actually
It
attacked
has
you
not
yet.
attacked
Oh,
you,
okay.
but
It
it
struck
is,
at you and then pulled towards
So
me.
it's heck with
yeah, it struck
'cause-
out at Drocker and missed badly, and so it
That was
turned
your
back towards you.
opportunity attack?
that attack right there was opportunity attack.
Ooh, that's a nice opportunity.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna upcast Thunder Wave, so we'll do 3d8 damage. I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And so 16 feet, and it gets a DC 14 Constitution save for half, and not to
Here-
be moved.
It rolled a 1 and a natural 20 on its Constitution saves, but the 1 was first, so it has the 1.
Okay, well it's moved 10 feet farther past Silco.
Great.
It's behind you, Silco. About 10 feet behind you.
I'll do what I can with that. Figured if I was in the water, I'd have a chance to see it if it was up next to me. Right?
It's-
You do
Splashing
see an enormous splash sort of originate right here and fling something in the air back 10 feet, and
Okay.
along with a large amount of water.
Yeah,
You also hear a loud boom,
You're soaking wet, absolutely.
and your ears are ringing.
And the life dome vibrates a little bit. All of the crystal bridges all sort of like tinkle briefly. And you hear Carlisle from behind you go, "What in the hell are y'all doing out there?" And
Stay inside, Carlisle.
and Ikif, you're up.
Awesome. All right. It's gonna probably do the same thing. Just till this thing gets out of its face. Advance crit. So 15.
Nice.
God damn, it's still up, barely, barely.
17.
Very barely. 17 will hit. Yes.
5 more damage.
Ikif. Oh, Ikif. It's shreds, but it's still flying. It's shreds in front of you.
I have really no idea, so I'm gonna patience defense again and dodge. So another bonus action for that.
Very good.
Uh,
And then as it is its turn, and with its last vestiges of strength, it's gonna slam into you twice. Ikif. Hopefully, it hopes.
no.
A 24 and a 19 to hit.
With disadvantage,
Yes.
both
Ow.
hit.
16 total bludgeoning damage as it takes every ounce of its remaining strength and careens into you. And you
Oh,
feel
I'm
this
hurt.
horrible punch
Uh-oh.
in your belly.
Oh, I'm
You're
hurt.
not sure how much longer you can stay in the air like this. Beautiful, you're up. Your friend looks bad.
I don't know. I
But
keep
you're cornered
flying.
by
I
something
don't
you
know.
can't see.
Right. No, I think I keep swinging away. I can't see it. Well, it's a tree. But he's flying. I don't know. I trust Ikif.
I can.
So, yeah,
What
I'll
terrible? What sad bird noise do you make as you get hit in the air?
It's
Role play it.
it's actually not even high pitch. It's a yeah. It's more like
Knocks
that.
the wind
Die.
out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Real
will
gut
recklessly
punch.
swing at the last place that I saw this thing.
A man doesn't say "ow" when he gets stabbed in the back. Right?
I should have just.
those will both hit. Dang, beautiful. Dang, look at that damage.
The 10 hits? Because it's invisible, right?
But you're recklessly attacking, yes?
Well, that cancels out the invisibility. So it would be the 10. Not the 18.
10 does not. The 10 does not hit. My bad. I'm
Okay.
looking
It's
at
okay.
your
Nope.
normal things.
Keep it honest.
No, thank you for keeping it honest. I appreciate that. 15 slashing damage. Then to that, you make a very solid hit on your first
17 magical
First round.
slashing damage. Yep.
magical slashing damage.
And the
All
second
that
one.
damage.
Really wish I could see this thing. Beautiful's starting to get really upset. that this whatever it is won't show itself. But
Yeah, whatever it is, it's you keep feeling like you're hitting it, but you can't tell how badly it's hurt, and it does keep hitting you back and not showing itself.
Mhm.
And man, that's just unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
Silco, you're up.
Jocker, you still have your lightning chain on that that one that you thunderwaved?
No, because I thunder waved it, so I didn't do the lightning thing. I guess.
I will make a perception check behind me. If I see anything discernible to shoot at, it's invisible. I mean, what does invisibility give something on its stealth check, right? I don't know.
I'll make a stealth check.
Does that? There's no mechanics for this, is there?
There is. This has it. You do not see anything.
Okay. Then I will shoot at the one I
yeah.
can see.
Great. Bam, bam, out of the air. This thing falls
Nice.
like a
Man.
bundle of rags and just disintegrates on its way down until there's nothing left.
And is there?
Ikif? Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Let you finish.
Ikif's free of his terrible burden. Go on.
Is there still one battling it out with Beautiful? Is he still over there struggling with like the air in front of him?
You definitely see Beautiful swinging at nothing in front of him.
Yes.
And appears to have hit something.
And cursing loudly.
I aim at the spot, but with nothing to aim for, I straight up close my eyes and pray. I'll spend a grit point
Please don't shoot me.
to balance out the disadvantage. Straight roll.
Oh,
hey!
Wow.
Man, I was gonna make you roll to see if you hit Beautiful, but with that, I think you just like time it perfectly as Beautiful leans away from whatever this thing is, and you just take that moment and focus in, and there it is. And you see your bullet tear through something directly in front of him as you make impact.
Man. Silco's
Weaver
a
got
beast.
me.
So goes a beast.
Jesus. Yeah.
It'll catch up with him eventually.
You know what though? I can still move, and I'm gonna
Go for it.
20, 25. Because I had to get out of the water there. I'm not gonna move further.
these squares are 10 feet, I believe, right? No.
Are they?
No, they're
No,
not.
No, they're
fine.
5 feet. These are 5 feet.
Probably
We're not in Betrayer's
half
Rise anymore.
speed moving through the
Okay.
water, though.
All right. There it is. Yeah, probably half speed. So if that's what's that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, I can get back up there next to.
You'll bring it into my reach. That's
That good or bad?
good.
Okay.
You're in a
You
position where any crazy spells I want to do or anything I want to do is I can angle them away from you.
Happy to be your bait here since I'm running out of things to shoot at.
Very good. Silco, you move away out of the river, and as you do, Drocker, you can see the one that you pushed away from him, following and swooping in on him to
Sure.
come attack him.
Here it comes.
But not opportunity attack me. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
But there is that. Yeah, it's not an opportunity attack. And so you watch it as it pursues your friend out of the water. A 14 and a 13, which I assume does not hit you.
Me?
Yeah.
It does not.
Fantastic.
Lucky.
So that one comes in, and Drocker, you watch as it misses Silco twice, and Silco, you feel the ominous 2 breaths of air on the back of your neck as you duck out of the way. The one in front of Beautiful is going to keep working on you. Beautiful.
Do it. Go for
but
it.
now it's rolling
With advantage.
With advantage. Oh, bummer. Because it rolled so badly, but with advantage it rolls an 18 and a 23, both of which I assume hit you.
They do.
15 bludgeoning damage, which you can have. And that one is going to remain where it is. Drocker, you're up. You can see one behind Silco over here, and then of course the one in front of Beautiful.
So like right there, on the opposite side of Silco from me.
So the square to the left of that, but yes.
Okay, so if I move properly, I can get. If I decide to switch teams, I could get advantage on Silco's attack. That'd be good.
That's correct. If you wanted
All
to
right.
take out the most dangerous member of your party right here and now, it
Right
would
here and
be-
now. Now's the time to do it.
Mhm.
Switch it up. So it's right there, and the other one's fighting beautiful right there.
Mhm.
Fairy fire.
Yeah, go for it.
And 20-foot cube. That's perfect.
Darn right it is. Deck save, yes.
Yeah, deck save is going to
14 for
be.
you.
Yeah.
Fine.
The one down by you fails.
Alright.
And it's and it that same red light springs up around it as you see the figure of writhing air in front of you. The
Mhm.
one over by beautiful, you can see it form around something and then dissipate.
Ah,
Darn. That's fine. I'm doing
that's
great
fine.
over here.
All right.
How'd they go toe to toe with this thing?
So that was my action. Anything else I could do? I'm going to move around. So I'm standing there. So I'm going to run around. I'm going to take a long little lap around it so I can get myself in a better strategic position around this thing. And that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. You hear Carlisle yell in the background, a general sort of yell of distress, not a what the fuck are y'all doing yell.
Shit.
Ikif, you're up.
Is he inside the house?
No, he has come outside of the shed. He's sort of, there's not an icon for him, but he's just like right in front of where it is, and he's sort of flapping his hands at something.
Uh-oh.
Fuck.
Can I see anything on him? I mean, is it another one of these on it?
Make a perception check with disadvantage because that's technically out of your range of vision. But it would be ridiculous for you not to be able to see it. But you are in the midst of battle and things are a little crazy. So make a perception check with disadvantage.
All right. Nope.
Not that it matters. You don't see anything. There's the swirling air around here is crazy. It's all crazy.
All right. I think there's another one.
Uh-oh.
Ikif, you're up.
I look around. I only see one. I'm gonna do my best to help with what I can see. This time I'll come in about here. Make sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then I'm popping bonus action first. So they need to make dex saves. I did this wrong. My bad last time. It's a dex save. That elephant should have made a dex save first.
That's
I
fine.
doubt
We
that
will-
guy was very dexterous.
Yeah, I would not underestimate the elephant.
Less so than these guys.
15 is the DC. So if they pass it, nothing really happens to them.
The one up by beautiful fails,
Oh, okay.
Nice. Like that.
Yeah.
and the one in between Silco and Drocker passes.
Okay. I have to see it, so therefore it's only that one right here. So,
So it passes. Sorry.
nothing happens to it, but I will now hit it with my long arms.
Mhm.
So,
Your creepily long arms. A 27 will definitely hit.
for 7 damage. And advantage 25, 9. So
Yes.
16 damage.
There you go.
Nice.
This is force damage
Nice.
now. Magic force damage.
Very good. Magical force damage from your long magical
more.
arms.
Yes.
Very good. Anything else for you, Ikef?
That's it. That's my turn.
Beautiful. You're up.
Like, do you imagine these things like extending out from your wingtips or what?
Kind of like over my shoulder, and I kind of imagine 4 of them. So shoulder and from like almost like Goro.
You got arms, you got wings, and Doctor Octopus tentacles.
Yes,
Astro
yeah.
Doctor Octopus.
Like
Jeez,
Doctor
she's got
Strange.
a lot of limbs.
They're that like dark color too, like very Doctor
Sure.
Strange.
Sure.
Paul, have you been wearing that shirt the whole night, or did you put it on after I almost murdered you in the first?
No,
10
all
minutes?
night. Every time now I play this campaign, I wear this shirt.
I'm so sorry.
It's
Yeah.
clearly a good luck charm.
Is it?
So far, kinda. You're still alive.
Because Jocker and what was that, Rorosha?
Yeah, we've taken down
Mhm.
one of 4 and counting of these.
Yeah, and
And it
2
took a
hits.
lot.
2 hits
took
from
a
me
lot.
almost killed me. I have 8 health.
Let's see if we can make another one.
These are not
Swinging
the last
away recklessly. There we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Now we're
Yeah.
talking.
Both of those will hit. The first one just barely you catch it.
It's still invisible, right?
Yes, thank
The one
you.
in front of me?
Sorry. Every
Yes.
time.
That's okay.
11 misses.
Nope, it's all right.
It's 20, but then you make up for it on the second one. 27.
Yes, exactly.
Goddamn. Plus the extra 2, yes.
That's right.
Very good. It's you can feel the air in front of you slowing down a little bit as you have hit it a fair number of times by
The
now.
pressure.
The air pressure in front of you
Yeah.
is lessening. You can feel your ears pop, maybe. Soko, you're up.
That's what bloodied sounds like.
Uh-huh,
Yes.
exactly.
I give Drocker a look and I quickly glance right to where, what was that guy's name?
Carlisle.
Carla.
Carlisle is flailing about over his head, and I look back to Drocker with the eyebrow of, you got this?
Got it.
And I disengage again. Fuck me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and I hoof it to as far as I can get, as close as I can get to Carlisle. Is that Carlisle over here by the door?
Yeah, there's Carlisle.
Found a
Okay.
Carlisle.
Found a
So-
Carlisle.
Disengage, and I dash. Nah, I can't do both.
No,
So
you
I can
can't do
disengage
both.
and move. So let's
Yep.
go back 30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's all I can do.
Pretty good. I'm gonna roll initiative for Carlisle because Carlisle's gonna do some stuff probably.
Is that what Carlisle looks like with the hat?
That's
Does now.
sure. That's what Carlisle looks like. That's Carlisle.
Yeah, from the accent, that is not what I expected.
Listen, people are varied and they contain multitudes.
The diversity of this place is its greatest strength.
Is astounding. It's wonderful. Great. Actually, that's perfect timing, Soko. It's going to be Carlisle's turn, and you hear Carlisle say, "Goddamn son of a bitch, you come back here!" and he starts taking off in that direction. I assume that's it for you, Soko.
Damn son of a bitch, you come back here? Carlisle, what the?
Dude's a badass.
Goddamn motherfucking son of a bitch stole my tablet.
No. You don't do
Maybe
that to
he
a man.
doesn't need my help. Like, I stop
Yeah, like-
short. I'm like,
Reevaluate.
yeah. So,
Huh.
all right, here I am.
All right, it is the stalker's turn in front of you, Drocker. It's gonna
Go ahead.
it remembers you.
Sure.
It remembers you. And so it's gonna swing around and go for Ikif directly behind it. But you are free to make your opportunity attack.
Don't mind if I do.
Go for it.
Is that a ranged weapon?
Yep.
And you can use it for attack of opportunity?
Are you allowed to?
Normally not ranged weapons. That's why I was wondering if it's an artificer thing.
I assume it was, right? Didn't you say like you had read?
Jump like normal range. I guess not. I didn't know that thing. And I don't have my
a ray of frost as an attack of opportunity, like a cantrip.
You have to take a feat for that.
Warcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warcaster.
Okay. Well, I don't
the
have
idea
any
is that it's in melee range, right? And so what you're doing is you're getting one last
punch
swipe
at
in
it.
as it gets out of your range.
Sure.
Okay. But okay. Okay, fine. Then I will just punch it because I don't have anything in my hand at the moment. So
Yeah, punch away.
with
22
advantage.
will hit. Yes.
Yeah.
22
There you go.
will hit.
Still
3 points of damage.
Very nice.
Punched with my armored fist, so my magical fist, if that
With
matters.
your magical armored fist. Yes, so
Yep.
it will take all 3 of those points.
That's right.
As it moves in front of
If I survive,
That's
I'm
legit.
running.
That's
how that works.
all right, it will hit you with the first one, Ikif, for 7 bludgeoning damage, and then it goes a little too far and it misses you with the second one. But you are there with 1 hit point.
1.
Yeah, that's right.
boy.
That's a good man. And then the one in front of you, beautiful, will resume its attacks upon you, hoping someday that it might take you down.
Yeah, man, just a battle, just swinging like crazy.
21 and 17.
Absolutely both hit. Yep.
For 24 points of damage total that you can have to your 12. Have I made a dent in you at all?
Yeah, that's not bad. I'm looking at after this. I am at 53 hit points.
Oh well, shit.
That's more than I have.
I'm just happy it's doing double-digit damage in total over here to you. I'm up to 12. Drucker, you're up. You've seen Beautiful take a good hit from this thing in front of him, and the other one has made its way at Ikif. And Carlisle's cursing up a storm and running away, and Silco seems to be slowing down.
Well, since I can no longer cheat, I have to play it by the rules. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my long sword. And I'm going to put myself right between the two. And
a bolt
I'm going to go. Yep. Well, that way they're both within. Nobody wants to hit me, so although they might now that they're flanking me. And the one that's on Ikif, I'm going to go ahead and swing away.
Mm-hmm.
With advantage, 22.
That will hit.
For one-handed, 11.
Mm-hmm.
And
this longsword is magical, right? This is one of the things that you artificered, or no?
Yeah, it is a magical sword.
Right. Okay, good.
Yep.
Yeah. That can mean something.
Yep.
Definitely
does. A magical sword. And 2. And I think that I'm good. I'm going to stop there.
Yep. All right. You swing at it and get a good hit in. Ikif, you're up.
Blood's dripping everywhere. All right. Punch. 24.
Mm-hmm.
Another punch. 26.
Mm-hmm.
So 14 damage.
You get in some good punches. It looks ragged. It's looking about as ragged as that other one did right before Silco killed it.
You are so tempting me to risk my life. Do I use the bonus action for the 2 extra attacks, or do I run away?
Just giving you the information that you have. It looks extremely bad.
Extremely
It will get
bad.
an attack of opportunity on you if you run away.
Well,
So.
Yeah.
Unless
have key
you are
points.
able to have
Which
some
will-
key something.
I have keys.
Yeah, this is your best. You have advantage on your attacks on it right now, and that you're not going to have a better time. And I can bring you back if you die. So don't
And
worry.
the stakes of
I
death
can
for you are very low.
All right.
Yeah.
You're gonna be okay.
Flurry of blows. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Pop pop, baby.
No, it doesn't.
Pop, pop.
Light it up.
2 more attacks is what happens.
Do it.
Boom. Crit.
Yeah.
Ooh, 17
Yeah.
damage.
Crit, right? Yeah, there you go.
17 with one punch. You think you might need
Nice.
2, but you don't. You just need the one.
Ah.
In your desperation, that last little bit of strength inside you as you lash out with your astral arms, and the remnants of it go flying and disintegrate into the air.
I'm so beat. I just glide to the ground, hunched over next to, bent over. Ugh.
Back. Get away from the other one that's there.
Ugh. And I move my 40 feet on my feet. Actually, I would probably only do 10 because I kind of glided down. So there. Over here, leaning up against a tree. Ow. Get him, guys. Alright, that's it.
Very good. Beautiful. You're up. You still have something in front of you that is determined to kill you.
And I am determined to kill it.
We'll see which one of you
Uh,
prevails first.
Battle for the ages.
Uh-huh.
Man,
This has been something else, man.
yeah, just
Oh,
look at that.
Ooh.
A lot of crits
Hell
tonight.
yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of crits tonight. God dang.
Those both hit. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
That's 33 points of damage. Beautiful. How do you destroy this thing you can't even see?
Do you remember Game of Thrones? The Hound versus the Mountain. It was like season 1. And it was just
Yes.
big, just heavy swings back and forth and ducks and just, yeah. I'm sure, people missed most of it because you're all dealing with your own things. But
I didn't miss it. I saw
this
every
has just
bit.
been,
I saw the effects. It was
big,
impressive.
thick, just hits both sides, but beautiful. Keeping his head clear of most of it because that's the moneymaker. Comes out on top and nods respectfully because this thing, even though it was invisible and that's cheap, still tried to go toe to toe, and I respect that.
I didn't know that air could bleed. That was you couldn't see it from your angle, but it was pretty gross. You disemboweled it, and
Ooh.
I could tell you what it ate for breakfast. So it's very well done.
Yeah. And then he'll ask so what's going on? Where else do we need? Are there any more of them? What's up?
Carlisle was dealing with one. Said he stole his tablet or something. I don't know. Go
Then
that
I'll
way.
start making
That
my
way.
over there. Yeah, that's my movement. Right there. That's my turn.
Excellent. With that, we
Emerged
will go out
victorious.
of initiative. As the one that the thing that Carlisle's been chasing has got out of his range, and he has sort of stopped at the edge of the dome and is muttering to himself, and then turns around and starts trudging back towards all of you. Are y'all okay? What happened?
I don't know. They look like air elementals or something. I'm not sure what they were, but
Wind spirits, man.
wind spirits.
They came at us.
Hold on a sec. Give me a second. Or
If you're all right, man.
Ikif,
that-
yeah,
Ikif just got 7 hit points.
I felt better.
Yep.
Yesterday hurt less.
Well, happened a lot faster.
Yeah. It was a little better that way.
Yep.
Those things
God
were
damn,
mean.
man! What happened to
What
you?
the hell were they?
My guess is they're elementals. I mean, unless I would know otherwise, or yeah.
You can make either an Arcana or a Nature check, any of you.
Cool.
You ain't got your magic guy with you today.
Mhm.
I have a
mhm.
+9 in Arcana. I just didn't roll.
You
I just rolled
logically
a
should
5.
have done better.
Yes.
Drucker, you've heard of things that are like air elementals that you can summon to do your bidding. Stalker, something.
Yeah, all right.
That's what you can remember.
Okay. Well, that's what I will go with when I go report and say, we found out how they're getting in. And they were heading towards the lake. We should probably go check the lake itself and just see, is there like a tunnel or a tube that they were heading down, or
Yeah.
I mean, if the water level rises and
Well,
lowers in the lake, I assume it's coming from
Stuff's getting
somewhere.
in, but not where.
Yeah. Let's at least take a short rest here in his house, and
Yeah, y'all can come on into the headquarters in here and just take a quick little sit down.
yeah.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Oh, what did it take from you?
It took my tablet, my arcane tablet that I used to activate the controls on the life dome, and it's the lock to get in the door. Basically, it's got the key to the whole place.
Well, I would have tried to pursue it more if I knew that. Shoot. All right.
Did it?
Okay.
Is it still in here?
Not if it has a tablet to open the door to get out.
Yeah, I got to the edge of the dome when it wasn't not that I could see it anyway, but it got what it came for and went.
I go, not expecting to see anything, but I go look in the direction of that I saw.
You
Where
saw
he
him run
ran.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make a perception
just with
check
my
if you want.
my seeing visibility still up for a while.
Mhm.
But my perception sucks. So yeah.
No.
There you go.
Whatever it was, long gone.
Okay.
You mind if I lay on the bed?
Oh, sure. There's a nice little couch over there. We got a cot. There's the bed, of course. You make yourself right at home. This would have been a lot worse if y'all hadn't been here.
All right. Well, you should take a little rest here.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
I would say.
Short rest.
We go inside for the sake of a little shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Carlisle will offer you all some tea and some snacks, and is a gracious host.
All right.
What was the thing about replenishing hit die? Like on a long rest, you get back.
You get back half of the number of hit die that you have spent.
Until eventually you have
if
just
you
one.
spent them all, you get a bunch back. If then you get a few less back, and then you get one back. And
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So you all make yourselves at home in
Yeah,
the
short
headquarters
rest.
inside the Life Dome and take your short rest. And Carlisle furnishes you with food and drink as you would like it, and makes you as comfortable as you can be in somebody else's home.
I double
And-
check on the backpack to make sure it's where I left it.
Yep. It's where you left it. The journals are all there. All your the things you did not want to take with you into the water are all still there and intact.
I make sure I find a little cupboard or something a little more discreet, since invisible things are coming in here and taking things, and just stick it in a cupboard or something so it's
Sure.
a little less obvious.
Carlisle sees you do that, and he says, "Listen, if you're trying to protect things from those invisible things, I think I'm not sure that there's anywhere that's safe. I mean, my tablet was in my pocket, and it took it. So
Yeah,
The
but
moment has passed.
the opportunity. A backpack sitting out in the open is an opportunity. They have no reason to think that there's a backpack in that cupboard, but you know, I'm trusting them to fail their perception checks when they go looking for it. So
that's fair. What I'm saying
Yeah.
is, I'm not sure they're coming back. I think they got
Yeah.
what they came for, and that was that.
I better safe than sorry. This is a very valuable stuff in here.
Oh,
That's
So-
true.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Let us. Oh,
I'm coming.
bye.
Y'all get any notion of what those things were?
Air stalker elemental somethings. I don't know. I'm
That those
gonna go.
unseen servants that that Trezor was talking about.
I mean, maybe that does seem, something like that for sure.
Right, somebody
That
could
would
have
be,
sent them in to like take your tablet, or even,
That would be my
Mhm.
guess. It seemed like they had a goal and they went for it. And
Oh yeah.
if it was wanton violence they were after, they could have inflicted that upon anyone at any time. But they
Oh, they
chose
did.
to come in here and
Right,
take
Ike?
something.
Well, you might have missed the half where the wanton violence was happening on our end of the
Yeah.
of the
Well, I do apologize for that. I hope your friend's going to be okay over there.
field.
He
There we
seems
go.
to.
He's a
have,
tough old bird. It's all
gone
right.
into hibernation.
Let's I want to let's go check out that lake. And in fact, shoot. I've already gotten my hit points back. Okay, so my see invisibility's worn off.
Mhm.
All right. But anyway, we'll go check. We can still keep an eye out. I'm running out of spell slots. I don't want to necessarily cast it again if I don't have to.
I mean, yeah, after the short rest, I'm down for checking out that lake because
Yeah.
it's clear something is going on. Those
Yep.
things were no joke.
Well, on the same token, somebody
Well,
wants
they have a
access to
handler.
this place to get in there, and they've found it, and they want to increase their access to it. But those things, if they took that tablet, they weren't
It's-
heading down into any.
So you're thinking, well, they've been getting in here before. At least that's the suspicion. So maybe they've been going in and just taking different trinkets and stuff. But now
somebody
they've
needs
got the real prize, and whoever the handler that's sent them in the first place, because those were sent by somebody. Those aren't the brains of the outfit. So
And why would they want my tablet to begin with if there wasn't something in here that they wanted access to?
exactly.
Oh yeah, I don't know. We got to go get wet. No doubt about it.
Okay. So, Ike, if you totally know it was your people, it's likely your people or what's her name that's doing this, right?
Oh,
Crimson Consortium.
I would
Yeah.
not
The
put it past.
portion of the Vermilion Dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would not put it
Yeah.
past Aloysia.
What about even just
You keep putting it on Aloysia, but it's
yeah?
not a one-person operation.
The majority of the consortium runs just like any other organization, right? Just like
Okay, so the minority of the consortium is the one that's coming to get us.
not us. I think for them, for whatever, we were just in the way here. I don't think
Okay.
it was targeting us. So
I don't know. Looking you up and down and checking out your wounds. If you say so.
I mean, if I was part of that, us, do you think it would specifically do that? You know what I mean? I think it generally it was sent on a purpose. We got in its way and it fought us. I couldn't tell you who. You could speculate all you want, but
Yeah.
somebody definitely knows and wants this place. And my best bet is Aloysia.
Okay. Well, let's go swimming.
Find her hidey hole way in. Yeah.
Any of you considered that it might be the Sentinels of Memory who are behind this?
Who to what?
Sentinels of Memory.
We are not locals, Mr.
Ah.
Carlisle.
I see.
Like I said,
The Sentinels of Memory are a little bit of an uptight group who believe that what is past should stay past and what's buried should stay buried. They're they don't necessarily enjoy the idea of learning from the past so much as
so
leaving
many
it where it
people.
lies.
Seems particularly reasonable to me.
Well, sure, it is pretty reasonable until you consider that often the way we move into the future is by learning from the past, and these folks don't seem to see the merit of that as much as the rest of us may be.
they tend to be a little bit more radical too.
All right.
Zealots, one might call them.
Yeah, that's a better word.
So we got a whole other group here. All right.
I'm not much of one for ideology, but leaving the past where it belongs, I'm okay with that.
Like I
Well,
said,
perhaps you got more in common with them than you think. Then, that and I don't know if you think it wasn't the consortium of the Vermilion Dream, then the Sentinels of Memory would be my other guess. Can't say they're all too happy with the Allegiance these days.
well, like I
How
said
would they have
earlier,
any idea what the Allegiance is up to?
Oh, everyone's got some idea of what the Allegiance is up to. Are you kidding me? They can't keep a secret, save their lives. They're that group of wizards. I know I'm part of them every now and then, but man, do they like to brag about what they've got going on. Get one of them even a little bit drunk, and they'll tell you what they recently discovered.
Huh.
All right.
I mean, yeah.
What's your poison there, Carlisle?
What's my poison? I mean, if you wanted to buy me some, if you wanted to give me a little Sunfire liquor, I wouldn't object. That's for sure. But I don't know that it's my place to tell you any more than I've already told you.
All right. Let's go
Nor
check
are
out the
you
lake.
some loose-lipped, egoistic wizard, so I wouldn't be too worried about you.
Well,
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't say that about myself. Thank you, Silco.
although you can't punish people that know those type.
Yep.
We can't all be excused of our associations.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go in there.
Put our
And then,
sea legs on, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's only 5 feet deeper now, so.
I would
And
lower it for you, but I don't have my tablet, so
shoot. Okay. Check something here.
Copy refill.
Money.
yeah, coffee refill.
Okay.
Carp, you know your Carp's not. I have no idea if you're there or not because
I can
your
still hear you.
camera
What's
is-
up?
Your camera's dark. Do you know this?
It's been wonky and frozen on me since I had to reload. Can you not? Yeah. Is it just what are you guys saying? Is it frozen
Black
me?
screen.
Black.
Just black screen.
Black
Just
screen.
blackness. Just darkness.
Black?
Yeah, not even Silco.
Not even Silco. Not even Silco's beautiful face and jaunty hat.
Is your mic not come in the mail yet, so you can wear your
At least
jaunty hat while we're
that.
playing?
My mic has arrived, but I'd have to set up a whole secondary audio system anyway to still be able to hear and not have feedback problems. Anyway, let me get that coffee. I don't want to slow anything down.
I am also gonna get coffee. We'll take a 5.
Okay.
Cool.
Man, getting beat up.
Yeah, you are.
I like my other
Holy
character.
crap.
It was a ranged character. It wasn't supposed to
Yeah.
be getting in the fight like this.
Plus, you were a fighter, so like I don't know. I feel like you had maybe a better AC, and you had action surge and second wind, and Yeah.
I mean, I really wanted to see what that character could do later on. It's a shame. It's a shame.
tragic.
I'll have to bring him back some other time.
Some one shot.
Something.
Corbin, son of Corbin.
Oh man, just getting worked. I mean, the AC for I don't have armor on, and I have a 17, which is decent.
It's better than me. It's way better than me. I got 14.
Yeah, but that rage though,
Yeah,
rage.
it's
is pretty
huge.
Nice.
Plus, I took where is it? The toughness feat.
Mm.
Oh, maximum hit points increased by another 14. So I'm sitting at 89 hit points total.
Damn.
Yeah.
45 maxed. 45 is my hit points because we're at fixed. So that's best I can do.
45
Yeah.
feels pretty okay. That doesn't feel that bad. It's just everything we've gone up against so far hits really hard.
Yeah. At level 7, 45, I mean, it's kind of low, I think. But monks are really like starved for the attributes.
Yes.
They really are.
You know,
want wisdom, dex, and then you want your con up.
Yep. You know MAD, right? Multi-ability dependent?
Yeah.
Yeah, monks and paladins. Super MAD classes.
It's like
because you want everything.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to get this one going. Be nice.
You're doing great. You're just in the wrong place at the wrong time every time.
Soaking those punches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my key points aren't going wasted though. I'm using them.
Oh, those are good. Those are really good.
Yeah,
I like this build. I'm interested to see what you do.
Oh, this is
that a picture of Silco now?
Yeah.
That is a picture of Silco now.
I just decided to shut the video off since it wasn't giving you anything. At least I get a cool picture.
This is true.
So we are heading over to investigate the water and peek around and walk around the lake.
Sounds like it.
Anything.
Yeah.
We should
Sounds like
we should probably let Prolix know. I mean, maybe Carlisle can I feel like this would be a really big issue.
Oh yeah, no, they need to immediately know.
Like Hand of Ward would probably get involved.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's
guards right outside the main entrance, right?
Yeah.
So should we? Okay, maybe we passed over and we're like, well, let's take a short rest and da a little bit abruptly there. Realistically,
I mean,
we
Ikif was hurting real bad. Yeah, true.
Yeah, somebody would stay with Ikif, but somebody else would go out there. And guards, did you see anything? Did you see
potential terrorist attack from the Sentinels of Memory? Like this is a big deal. Rally the troops.
Yeah.
Close off all the exits.
Run the message up the flagpole, you know?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Sure. You run the message up the flagpole. There's a little bit of a flurry of activity at the entrance of the Life Dome as the Hands of Ord redouble their numbers. We'll say that Carlisle sent a message to Prolix letting him know what had happened and that the arcane override tablet for the Life Dome has been stolen, presumably by a member of some faction who has been involved in all of this. And that's what will happen.
Arcane override tablet. Pretty good.
Are you looking it up?
No, I'm writing it down in the notes.
Oh yes.
No, I will not. No, I don't do that. Absolutely not. But I just feel like
I don't think you're going to find anything for it.
No, but that just hasn't been mentioned yet. Like he hasn't named the thing. He just called it a tablet. He said arcane override tablet. So I was like, okay, that sounds.
Tablet. It's I think he mentioned it's the tablet used to open the door and control the laptop. Yep.
Yes.
I love the conceit of magic, like substituting for modern Bluetooth, like Internet of Things tech.
Yes. Yeah. That is something I really love about this world is that magic has fully become entwined with technology in a way that's really lovely and exciting.
That's the one thing that seems to be avoided a lot because it's complicated to do is the industrialization of magic. Mm-hmm. Right? How do you have both of these things sort of working cohesively? There was a campaign I I think a podcast I listened to one time where they had like a magic train effectively that was like a maglev train on a magic track that could just go around the continent or whatever at a crazy speed because no friction, no nothing, magic
Right.
propulsion. Like, of course there would be a magical fucking train. Like, that's
Yeah.
the first thing that any kingdom builds in its infrastructure
Right.
if it's
Oh,
made
yeah.
at their disposal.
For sure. There's a great there's a great reason that like magic is only at a certain level with technology in Exandria, and it's because the Age of Arcanum before the Calamity was like the pinnacle of all magical technology. Like
Okay.
flying cities were commonplace because magic was that powerful. They had like essentially the equivalent of what we would consider to be like a futuristic city with flying cars and loudspeaker systems, and everything was like New York with screens everywhere, but it was all magic.
Totally.
And all of that was lost in the
And
Calamity.
that all went to crap.
Yeah, and like part of why the Calamity
Atlantis of
occurred
magic.
was because of the hubris of using technology and magic in that way.
Sure, and going above and beyond.
Yeah.
There was a
They
good,
just did like a mini campaign about the Calamity that's very worth a watch if you're into it. It's a sort of nice little self-contained story about the like extreme hubris of the wizards who came before in the Calamity.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. We are all back.
Sorry that took a minute. Fair warning, Milo.
Yeah.
Maggie has had like 2 accidents in 2 days. So.
Oh, Mags.
So,
no,
So,
baby. None of
she was
that.
just lying right behind me here, and I got up, and it's like, oh, there's a little puddle where you got up. Lovely.
Aw, baby.
Poor baby.
She's getting old.
She's
Here, I
getting old.
thought it was just time for bedtime smackdowns.
No. They're remarkably not having to do that right now. But all right.
Just yell, you say, you get back to bed or I'll punish you in the name of the moon.
When it gets to that point, they don't respond to any of that. Are you kidding me? All right. We going swimming?
Sounds like
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Are we all over 5 feet tall? Is this just difficult terrain moving through there, or what are we?
Yeah,
you're all none of you are shorter races, so I would say that you can all probably
Halflings,
move
goblins,
through
or
there.
kobolds among us here? No.
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 All right.
The hobgoblins.
And you just
You're
buoyant,
paddle the feet.
kicking them feet.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can go aquatic if I need to. This I can transform self. What the alter self also works for giving me gills and things, but I imagine that working with the armor and turning into more of like a scuba setup than actually getting gills on my person.
I was imagining like a full chitty chitty bang bang scenario where you pull a cord and you're suddenly a submersible. It's great.
Oh, I gotta go watch that again.
It's such a fun movie.
Yeah. You started
very
talking
good.
about obscure musicals, and I thought that's where you were going, and I'm like, no, that wasn't him.
Man,
That was one of my first guesses.
That was a good guess. All right, you all move out into the lake. Do you have a system for this? Are you doing like a grid search? Are you how are you?
I think IKIF goes up high and gives a big survey of the area, and I think just spirally, maybe spread ourselves out like it's 60 feet across, so maybe spread ourselves out like 5 feet away from each other, and then just kind of start spiraling inward.
Right.
But like 3 wide, so we can kind of cover
as much space
area
as possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the clarity of the water? Can we see the bottom?
It's fairly clear, but it really depends on if you are swimming or walking. If you're walking, you will kick up silt. It will be pretty hard to see. If you're swimming, it will be a little bit less hard, but it's still cloudy, right? It's shallow enough that you are going to get some interference from the silt at the bottom of the lake.
Okay. Well, in that case, I mean, let's do it walking first, But if I need to, I can go aquatic and try and make it a little more. Yeah.
Sure. All of you make well, Ikif, make your perception check first.
Poles or
Yeah,
anything?
before we
Anything
start making
like-
them.
Does Carlisle have any 10-foot poles or anything we could borrow and just like have to walk
Sure.
Oh, there you go.
Sure.
around in front of us?
Goddamn, Ikif. Yeah, Carlisle's like, yeah, I probably got some. I got some sticks y'all can borrow for whatever.
Yep.
And as he's outfitting you all with some poles, like if you do a circle around the lake, and you circle it a couple of times, you really get close to the water when you feel like you see something and pull back as you discover that it's nothing. And you spend a good 5 minutes as everyone else gets some equipment from Carlisle. And when you come back to them, you are almost positive that there's nothing down there. It really, it's pretty uniform across the whole lake. There weren't any like particular dark spots. You didn't see anything else that looked suspicious. There was no like growth that could be hiding something. This is a deposit of water that seems like it's pretty uniform all the way through, and you did not find any cracks.
Oh shit.
Where's the water coming in at?
Carlisle can tell you that there's a spring of fresh water that comes up through some flooded caverns underneath the city, and there's a spring where it comes up in the center of the lake down here.
And
But it's you know a small fissure in the bottom of the lake. It's nothing. It's nothing that anything's come through before. Certainly hasn't come through now.
Out of character, like we think that's where Kale Morrow is, right? Or that's where, yeah, that's where
An alternate entrance in there. Yeah.
we are sure that they came from the center of the lake towards us.
Well,
the stalkers.
Yeah.
No, they came from outside. They came
from outside.
They were swimming in the one of these like channels, like the little valleys.
But the nature of their, I mean, if there's like an aquifer and just groundwater seeping up through the ground, they probably in their form could make their way down through the ground. I would imagine. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big, giant grate that they swim through.
Well,
if it's porous enough, or
they wouldn't be able to get back out with magical items to them.
Oh, good point.
So like,
yeah, it's true.
How's the little elephant get out?
I'll come back. I'll share all this, and then, we already knew somehow the consortium had access, right? They had, they sold the elephant or dropped off the elephant, right?
Something.
So, why would they need more access if they already have a way in?
Why would they be pawning off magical items?
Right.
Maybe to cause a problem or a scene. I don't know.
Yes, either cause chaos, or maybe it's not the whole consortium and just an individual trying to pawn some goods.
Or they didn't know.
Yeah.
Or, man, what if somebody just dressed up in a red robe and was trying to frame
who would do
consortium?
that?
Right, who would do that? Yeah.
There's too
the
many
old
factions.
Devil's Reverse. Yeah, too many factions.
Is there a way that you could
and wheels within wheels
your people and find out?
I mean, I
Press
could. I could.
They,
But I'm kind of on leave right now. But I could. I just don't. I think we need to find this entrance, and I think it's still here somewhere. It just doesn't seem like it's in the lake.
Right, not in the lake.
Because whoever just sent those has their entrance now. So we need to find who has the entrance already. And we know one faction actually controls this, so it has access every time it wants it, correct? So
as we've moved around the lake, have we noticed any other like sort of fallen trees or anything else that like organic life that's just sort of given way to natural stuff like that one?
Yeah, there's around the edge of the lake, especially it's a little wild. There are some long-legged birds that sort of wade in the shallows. There are little inlets where wildlife has grown in. There are some overhanging branches that have that trail over the surface of the lake, and others that have fallen into the lake. There are turtles, and yeah, this is a place that's given over to nature a little bit.
I mean, we never really surveyed everything around the lake. We never got around to that because we were pretty quick to spot those interlopers.
Yeah. Well, have we done our? I mean, we haven't searched around the lake itself too, but
No.
even in the water, do we want to go do our pass with our 10-foot poles?
Oh, yeah.
Was Ikif like very, I mean, he was very confident that that wasn't it, I think, right?
He didn't see anything at all. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's
if there's something invisible.
We
I
give it a
can go that
shot.
route again, but also there's silt that kind of covers the.
Right.
So we might be able to feel something, especially if we're tapping along with our poles, and that you wouldn't necessarily see from the air.
Before we head out, I mean, should we just see if maybe there's any secret passages within these buildings right here? Maybe Carlisle can help us and see if maybe some of the people that work here might not be so up and up.
I mean, there's only 4 of us that work here, and I'm one of them. And if the other 3 are betrayers, then the whole city's got a hell of a lot more to worry about than a missing tablet, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right.
It's worth a shot. Is that okay? I mean, there's a building.
Sure, it's worth a look. You want to take a look around? By all means, go ahead. I ain't got anything to hide.
Yeah. In this building, and we'll just give a quick glance, and then we'll try to do the rest of the grounds.
Okay.
Sure. Make investigation checks for the buildings that you are investigating.
I'm gonna take all my time I need, right? To do it very thorough. I'll push on every little crevice on our wall. So whatever I need to do, just taking the 10, I guess, what is it called, or
that's not really part of this one,
Yeah.
but
that's not a thing in this.
We don't do
Not
that
really.
anymore.
You can
don't get skill points that you can put into things to make yourself.
No,
really swing at
alas,
that.
no. But you can tell me, like, if you would like to look for something in particular. You can tell me, and I may or may not give you advantage based on how good you're doing the looking.
Yeah, I'm just looking for secret passages. That's all I'm doing, and so I'll aid anybody else that I'll aid Drucker in this.
turn my 10 into a 13 there.
I guess I don't know. I mean, here you want to see
You might be better.
investigation?
You might just You might just.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that even aids. Don't you have to roll a 10?
No, and on an aid, the other person just gets advantage.
So
Silko, you can make an investigation check too if you would like.
Up to you, buddy.
I mean, I don't even know that I would be. I would have kind of been trusting Carlisle. I don't think I'd even would have bothered with that. I would have been more interested in something outside.
There's also, I think, Prolix mentioned that it's in everyone's best interest that this place keeps running. Like, it's very unlikely that somebody's going to sabotage it or do anything like that, because all groups involved rely heavily on the fact that the Life Dome continues to work.
Although it's kind of scary to think that you can control the water level with your little pad there.
True. It's a lot of power.
It is a lot of power. I mean, usually we use it because the source of water down there is temperamental at best, and so some days there's a lot of it, some days there's only a little of it, and so we can regulate it as it comes and goes. Store some of it when we've got a surplus, and bring that back out when it's needed.
All right, people have done enough talking, so go have a look around.
Sure. You all look very carefully around this little abode that the keepers of the Lifetime stay in, and in the shed outside where they keep their tools. Ikif is going over the place inch by inch, just like pressing every single little stone that's set into the wall and waiting a second and nothing happens, and goes to the next one and nothing happens. Drocker and Beautiful, you two do a little bit more of a cursory investigation around looking for obvious places, and you find nothing. Silko, you also take a good look around this place, and of everyone, you feel pretty confident that there is nothing to be found here beyond what is on the surface level.
What is the back room? Looks like a kitchen.
This back room.
Yeah.
That back room is like a gardening room, basically. It's where like the plants are taken to be propagated, and where they do a lot of work on seedlings that come in, and if they need to do any testing with the water, if there's algae and they need to test for that, the pH levels, etc., etc.
Why are there
All right.
chains and stuff against the walls?
Chains?
I'm not
You mean
seeing
like
that.
the
Are you
like?
seeing what I'm saying? Monocles?
They look like roots. Like roots.
Oh,
Oh
of
weird.
plant.
yeah,
Those two
Those
look
look
like
like
monocles.
prisoners'
those do look
chains
like, yes,
to
they do.
walls and for like beds.
Disregard that. That's not anything.
Tarps
That's
covering
right.
corpses.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's just a question of like I don't know how on point this is. They have a lot of baked bread there here up here front for, so I think this is probably
Yeah, this map doubles as another
I
thing
noticed
for
the
another
weights.
thing.
Yeah, I
There's a
know.
workout room.
Yeah, dude.
There's this is also a map for another thing
okay.
that is more specific to what the inside of it is.
Okay.
Here it's just
never-
this is where the people who live in the Life Dome live and work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe some of them are into weird stuff when they're
But the
alone
next
in
time we see this map, the manacles will count.
the next time you see it, the
Remember
manacles will be there for realsies.
Hmm.
We wake up in that room, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You'll see this map again, and those manacles will be
In
used
the back
on
of the bakery.
you. Yeah,
What are you putting in the bread? Okay.
nothing.
So there's nothing here. Just go knock around. Do we, go get wet, or do we go take the walk around first? Got to do both.
Well, we could walk around the outside first, and then we'll, the outside, and then we will get in the water after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, work from the outside in, I guess.
Sounds good.
Sure.
So we spread out about 10 feet apart, and we just like walk around,
Yeah.
look at everything,
Like search party style, kind of.
Sounds good. I get for you also getting in wet.
Well, we're starting dry first, and then we'll get wet. So we'll still do the spiral, but we'll start the
Mhm.
spiral outside the perimeter of the lake, and then we'll move inside.
It'll work your way inward.
Yeah.
Sure. It's sure. Make nature checks for your little outside or outside the lake tromping.
Sure. Is this not perception?
Ikif, Beautiful. The two of you are like ducks in water. Not to put too fine a point on it. You both enjoy this very much. It's a nice little hike. It's actually pretty soothing. The sound of the water is nice. There's some nice cicadas going. It's a nice little break, as it were. Drocker, you maybe get a little more muddy than you would like in your armor, but that's going to go away pretty soon when you get into the water. Silko, something bites you. Some bug has bit you, and it's still biting you, and you can't figure out where it is or where it's coming from, but it's still biting you.
The sun is 3 times as big here as it was in Wild Mount. This is so stupid.
And you're definitely going to come out of this with several mosquito bites at minimum.
Aw.
Sun is big. The bugs are big.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ooh, your nice shade blood is so sweet, so delicious, untouched by the sun. You y'all can work your way into the lake, make your perception checks as you will, or investigation, whichever you would prefer.
I prefer investigation.
Damn it.
23 for me.
Ooh.
Goddamn, Ikif. Drucker and Ikif, the two of you are very confident that there is nothing on this path of the lake. Extremely confident. Ikif doubly confident.
Okay.
Noko too. I'm rolling. Oh wait, no. This isn't
No,
sight related,
you're
is
at
it?
disadvantage because you're in sunlight now, so you got an 11. Boy, it's hot. Those bugs are biting you. The back of your neck itches. One of your ears is starting to peel.
Okay.
Beautiful, you stubbed your toe on a rock in the lake and you lost all
So
interest for this.
probing around, playing in the lake, and we don't really. Is it that we can't see anything, or we didn't feel anything? Is there a lot of silt? Do I feel like we probably?
There's a lot of silts. It's difficult to make a whole lot of progress, but you take your time and you feel as though you have very thoroughly ruled out that there is something down there that anyone could come through.
Oh, we should have watched them and seen where they went.
Are we out of earshot of everybody? Like Carlisle and
you're in
Mercy?
you're in the middle
We're
of
in
the
the lake. Yeah, we're just standing in the middle of the lake at this point.
Prolix mentioned that he knew that Kael'Moro was down below. Maybe he has an idea of where the entrance would be.
Well,
Talking
they
to
have
him
their.
again, maybe.
Oh, he sent us here to find it.
He knows their entrance,
Yeah.
but he suspects there's another in here. That's all.
Damn it.
Okay. So where would they have?
Could you link the map of
The city?
yeah.
I can just take you all back to the map of the city where
Okay.
you don't need to be
Yeah, we'll do that
in the
then.
life dome any longer.
Let's see. If I was a secret entrance, where would I be?
So they think it's somewhere in the Life Dome, but we haven't found anything in the Life Dome. We found people going into the Life Dome,
Mhm.
but we didn't see where they were going to go because.
No, we have drawn all the clues that they were a team sent to get that tablet
Yeah.
Yeah.
to control the water. The tablet
But-
controls the water level
The tablet
Oh.
controls the water level and also the door.
and the door. So somebody wants to be able to control the water level, to raise or to lower it. Probably to
Or
lower
just
it.
open the door so that normal people can go inside instead of.
Also that.
Yeah.
But like we have been over this entire area with pretty good
Yeah.
perception checks and have not found anything that leads us in there. So unless we're stupid,
Which is
Not-
entirely
not-
possible.
Yeah. Come on now.
entirely possible. But also some things aren't, that are meant to be obvious aren't always.
These are all channels that lead out to the different parts of the city. Is that what that is? That lead to
Mhm.
like a plumbing system for the city, or okay,
Yeah, those are all major canals that are outside of the Life Dome. The Life Dome is really just this building.
okay,
And everything, the lake and everything within it is contained in there and sealed within. Everything outside of it is used either for farming or for navigating around the river district or for the city's water. Pretty much everything else is out in the open.
all right. If we're standing like in the middle of the lake at the moment, I'm just going to hold my breath for a moment and kind of just look around with my little helmet on. It's all nice and sealed up, and hopefully maybe have a good little look and see if
Sure.
anything different, like down at the bottom. Like I'm mostly like wondering like how porous the ground is. My theory about them being able to just go through the ground and get into the aquifer or whatever's down there.
Yeah. Are you just looking? Are you taking a hand and like putting it into the silt to see where the ground is? Are you?
Yeah, I'm like getting down to the bottom of the ground of the lake and feeling around and like want to like reach my hand in there and feel if like some thick river rocks or what are we talking about here?
Sure. Get
Uh,
on down into it. Make an investigation check because you're getting down and dirty.
Shit. All right.
It's mushy. It's real mushy down there.
Real mushy. All right.
It's nice squishy. It does feel nice though. It's that nice smooth river mud that's right at the bottom.
I come up with a
pushes.
handful of it just to kind of look at it outside of it and outside of the water, and bleh.
Ooh, it's that good rich black dirt that that is at the bottom of a lot of good rivers. You know.
Do you think anything's here?
After my passes, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I think we've got enough to go report back.
I remember that Prolix said he'd pay us whether we found anything or not. I'm ready.
If Prolix doesn't remember that we will be sure to remind them.
It's been a hell of a day.
We did find something. We found that there's another
We
group.
saved his. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Saved his caretaker.
Yeah.
What about the caretaker right now? I mean, should they up security in this place at this point?
Yes, I think you were. I think you were away when we
we kind of talked about that.
Yeah, what we said during the short rest. Y'all notified the hands of Ord, and
cool.
Carlisle sent a message to Prolix, and security has been raised, and the allegiance has been notified.
Okay. Well, let's go talk to Prolix for next steps. Wasn't Carlisle supposed to pay us?
No, Prolix had to go back to him.
Carlisle's like, I don't have that kind of money.
All right, I'm just checking.
I can pay you in fresh river water if you want it, but that's about it.
You know what? Frankly, Carlisle, you paid us in hospitality. You're pretty swell fella.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. Y'all aren't so bad either. Feel free to come on by whenever you want, but
would probably take you up on that. So, how
well,
do we
I
get
would
in
wait
if
a
we
little
do?
bit until you come back, because I suspect my higher ups are not going to be all too happy with me after today.
It's not. It's not on you. Believe
Right.
me. Make sure that that's clear to.
Oh, I will. I'm not going to take any of their guff.
Yeah, good for you.
Actually, Prolix did mention that you might be able to help us with a couple of potions of water breathing. We didn't end up needing it because the waters here is shallow, but we have a feeling that our next stop, we probably will.
Well, Prolix would probably be the fellow to help you with that more than I would. I don't usually keep them on myself unless the waters here are particularly high, which they have not been lately.
You sure you don't have one on hand? He said to ask you about it.
Fortunately, no, I don't. But if they're sending you down into the caverns, then I suspect they will furnish you with some. They are not ungenerous with those things if need be.
That's a good point.
All right.
Well, let's go hoof it over to the Crystal Chateau.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very conveniently close to the excavation hole. Well, look at that.
Yeah, we might walk down that road and just gander as we walk towards the Crystal Chateau.
I have no idea
Sure.
what that is or where that is. We've been told there's a big, hole on the map, but we don't.
Didn't we get a map? Yeah, we have a map because it's
you're looking
everybody
at the
keeps
map
marking.
Well, then what's the cover for that hole? What's it supposed to be?
There's.
It's a hole.
I mean, you're gonna walk past it, so we can answer that question by saying there is no cover. It's a big ass hole in the ground.
Looks like there's a spiral staircase leading down into it.
And there is a spiral path that leads down around the edges of the hole into the ground.
Hey guys,
Alrighty.
I think I found the entrance into the thing.
This is
It's right here. I don't know how we missed it.
doing in the dome.
It's this giant hole right here.
Bit up by mosquitoes for nothing.
No, we were told to go look around in the dome to see if there was a secret entrance.
Right.
Because then they would give us permission to go down in their hole that they made.
Yes.
Because their hole is special.
Right.
That's the big hole in the ground.
Oh shit! What do we got? Oh, yep.
Oh, man.
Started.
Look at those sons of guns standing.
Yeah.
Like a serious, masked, one of those intimidating. Oh, he's like a masked orc. How about that? Like silver.
Damn.
Yeah, so you walk you move through the Sigil district down from the river district, and you pass by the excavation site, which is manned by a great many people guarding it, who do not appear to be members of the Hands of Ord. They are a different private security, we shall say.
All right.
And they are guarding the edge of this pretty readily.
Oh yeah, they are.
The
You know what? I could say one thunder wave will send them flying about 10 feet back. Good.
Oh, that'd be so beautiful.
We have no reason we need to. We're going to get written permission to go down there, but I'm just saying, if push comes to shove, I do the shoving. So,
how very Trezor of you.
yeah. I gotta
so-
make the spirit of Trezor with us a little bit tonight. So
Yeah, for sure. Yes. They are similarly intimidating.
Yeah, totally those guys.
Yes. So yeah, you walk past the excavation site and down towards the Crystal Chateau, where
go to the library again and say,
Mhm.
hey.
they fetch Prolix for you, who shows up and is pleased to see you.
So, how did it
Alex, you sent us on another job that almost killed Ikif. Again.
go? Really?
Yes. There
Shit,
were
I'm sorry.
like some air elementals, I can't remember, like stalkers, something.
Air
I don't know.
element.
Yeah, you didn't get word of it yet? I figured it would have reached you by now.
So
Oh,
anyway,
I mean, Carlisle said that there had been an incident and that his tablet had been stolen, but he didn't.
so
he
they
didn't
were
really
sneaking in
specify.
through the canals, under the water, virtually
Uh-huh.
invisible. We barely noticed them. And we engaged and destroyed 3 of them, and one of them snuck up and took Carlisle's tablet. So, yep. So right now, somebody has a tablet. We searched everywhere we could. We searched the lake. We searched under the lake. We searched around the perimeter of the lake and other areas in there. We could not find any sign of any sort of a secret passage, or where they were planning on going after, if they were just coming for the tablet, or where they've been getting in and out, where they could have been taking magical artifacts.
Sure.
Not sure. But yeah, that was a bit of a doozy. Definitely, I think we earned some pay, perhaps some hazard pay.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
I have your. I got that right here.
And he'll give you a little pouch full of 300 gold, as promised.
Mm-hmm. We need to start negotiating some medical expenses if you plan on sending us on jobs anymore, because look at my man Ikif here.
I don't know. He doesn't look that bad. Like a little ruffled, maybe, but he seems okay.
He used to
That's
have
after some
double the
magic.
number of feathers he has.
Yeah,
right now.
that's after
Oh,
some
shit.
magical healing there.
Wow.
So, are we going into the city now, or what?
Down into the excavation.
Yep.
Well, here's the deal about that, which is that I have talked to the headmasters about it, and they're happy to let you down there as long as you officially join the Allegiance.
Officially join the Allegiance. What does that mean? What do we do?
It means that you officially join the Allegiance, that you are with us on in our missions, and that we would really prefer that you didn't take jobs with other factions across the city, and we'll let you in, and your loyalties to us, basically. That's what that means.
I feel like Ikif might have a problem with that.
Everybody gives a sideways glance to Ikif.
I mean, there are benefits from it too. You get a cool little badge. So I've got a badge. You get a nice uniform, and you can stay at the chateau for free.
What are the accommodations like at the chateau?
Yeah, right.
So real nice. I mean, not the lap of the gods. I understand that's where you've been staying, so don't expect that. But they're pretty good.
gonna need to think on it over dinner. We're gonna go get some dinner.
Oh
It's
yeah,
dinner
of course. Take as long
Yeah.
as you like to think about it.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Let's.
But if you're interested, it's not an outright no.
It's not an outright no.
Nope.
Then I'll have
What's
one of the
the salary
headmasters.
look like? What's the salary look like?
Oh well, that depends. If you take up a position of official employment, then they'll give you a salary. Like I'm a researcher, so I have a salary. But you're just you would.
How much do you get? How much do you get paid?
I don't know that I'm comfortable discussing my yearly
Okay,
salary.
so here's the thing. This is how your bosses are trying to control you by convincing you not to speak about your salary. It's only by being open about these things to make sure we're all being treated fairly.
Right when we started the night. We were
Yeah,
back to union talk.
that's what we always hear about. From local 2 and the Artisans Guild. But honestly, I'm not unhappy with my lot in life. So you're probably better off talking to the students about unionizing than me. I'm in a good position. Myself, I'm happy to sort of run with the way the establishment is headed, given that I myself am on kind of an establishment track here.
Yep.
All right.
You got yours. I get it.
Yeah, you got yours.
mine.
I see.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
I put in my work, paid off my student loans. I don't see why those kids should get theirs paid off.
That sounds really familiar.
All right, let's go get some dinner,
Yeah.
and then we'll come talk to you after.
Some avocado toast.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, go spend all that hard-earned gold in your avocado toast, you entitled.
All right, so
As everybody's walking away, Soko's gonna like turn around to Prolix and do the like signing motion pantomime, like with a wink, like I'm in.
Prolix is like the benefits, the bennies, Soko, the bennies. Think of the bennies.
I take the cash and I start divvying it up and make sure that everybody gets 75 gold. Add it to your character sheets now because we're gonna need it. That's what we do.
Yep.
So funny, the one that's really wanted that gold for his thing.
Yeah.
This is not here for the gold session.
The money.
I know y'all have really gotten paid this time, and
Yeah.
and
Tragically.
I hope he's doing something really important right now.
I'm sure he is to him.
Ah, shit. All right. And well, so now we need to figure out, okay, are we going to pool our resources and pay off the debt? Or are we going to pool our resources and get ourselves a gilded skull? Or are we going to pool our resources and go back to the lap of luxury? So,
Are we going down into that hole?
oh, we're definitely going down that hole, but they want us to sign up. I was wondering if we should go talk to the Cobalt Soul and keep playing them against each other a little bit more longer before we officially sign our lives away.
I remember when I said that I offered you the position with the consortium.
Yeah, I remember them.
So it's going to be the same. Everywhere
What's
we
gonna be the
go,
same?
they're going to want allegiance. I guess the best thing to decide is who has the resources you need for what you need.
Right.
Yeah, but I just want to hear Cobalt Soul's offer. I know that the consortium's offer includes selling dangerous artifacts to unwitting pawn shops. So I want to hear what Cobalt Soul has to say. We haven't talked to him all day. So and questions my buddy. So
Sure.
I might be a little sweet on question. I don't know.
Yeah, for real. I mean, she left you a note, and
Yeah.
Joker's really latched on to it.
XOXO.
XOXO.
Right.
Which, of course, she leaves on every note for everyone.
She stayed at the lap of the gods with us. I mean, hopefully Trezor hasn't burned any bridges over there, or anything else.
I mean, I don't think we can't. It means we have to stop being friends with anybody. But like, this is the man in this town. You know, they're in with the guard. They're in with.
They have the resources.
And
I am
think-
this close to signing up and saying yes, but I think it's worth having a conversation.
Yeah, most importantly, they said that they have an entrance to Kael Morrow.
Yeah, that's the big. I mean, everything
don't
that's
know.
going on with all these different factions,
Right.
us getting to Kael Morrow
Yep.
is the most important part of everything. So,
Yep.
Besides,
Um,
odds are, I give it 7 out of 10. We find some portal down there that takes us to some other
crazy thing where we have
wackadoo
another vision.
end
Well, we
of
have a
the
vision
realm.
from. Yeah.
And whatever contract we sign isn't going to mean a goddamn thing in 48 hours anyway.
Well, I mean, the important part is, I mean, this, after we had our second vision, this necklace around my neck here kind of woke up a little bit. So, if we can find another, I mean, there were 3 deities. Does that mean 3 visions? Is this, because it has like 3 stones on it, right? Is that?
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember, and it's like
It has in its
trying to
second
remember.
form it's this central pendant that's the solid gold, and then it has these little unfurling sort of petals on it, and there are 3 of those.
In this state, the jewel has received the blessing of Avandra the Changebringer, and 3 delicate spires unfurl from the jewel's center like buds of flowers opening in a spring. 3 lapis lazuli stones rest like dewdrops in these spires. All right.
Yeah, I think I've got an
Very
image
pretty.
of it
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yep.
So what's everybody getting for dinner?
I don't know.
Oh,
I paid for the
man.
rooms last night. What are you buying me for dinner?
I can cover dinner.
There you go.
Yeah, man, no problem.
I like beautiful has to have.
What we needed?
We can all pay for dinner at this point. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm rolling in it. I mean, do we want to get street food? Do we want to go to a sit-down place somewhere? What you guys feeling like?
Nah, let's have a
Maybe like a corner.
halfway decent meal.
Yeah. You never know at the way things are going, which one's going to be our last. So, just to get morbid on you, which one's going to be Ikif's last? So,
Maybe like a corner booth where we're back to the wall, where we can hunker down and talk about some stuff.
don't worry, I'm going to keep you healed.
That's
Woo! Look at that thing. That's pretty.
That's the awakened jewel of 3 prayers.
Okay, so before it was just the gold part.
That's
And then-
correct. Before it was just the gold part.
All
It was
right.
just that, and then it,
Yeah.
and it sort of unfurled and grew into that second thing.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
And have all sorts of crazy abilities I still haven't really used yet. So it's
Sure does.
we haven't had to make enough saving throws. I was going to be helping everybody out with saving throws, and we. All right.
Ikif will be making some death saving throws.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one. It lets me it lets me as a reaction, I think, let you re-roll a saving throw, a failed saving throw. Allies.
Nice. So, wow. As a reaction, that's pretty sweet.
I think so, something like that.
If you're local, is there like seems like all the places around here are just kebabs. Is there somewhere you really like?
I normally just eat at Elzan.
Ah,
That's like all the way across town, right?
man, that's come
far.
That's
there's got to be food on every block around here. Come on, let's. And this is like a college area right here. They probably have all sorts of good food around here.
The food around here is as beautiful as noted, mostly kebabs, because the students are sort of ready to grab a skewer and go back to their studies.
Right.
It's all like hand pies and small fried things and easily transportable edibles. Not a whole lot of sit down places. Not a lot of high end establishments. But by God, does it all smell good?
I'm good with some kebabs. Let's just grab some kebabs and keep walking. We're fine. Come on.
Kebabs it is.
All right.
Street meat.
Yep. I'll pick up some street meat of potentially unknown origin as you as you make your way through the streets of Ank'Harel.
Eat it
It is
gladly.
delicious. It
Yep.
is a little spicy and smoky, and they give you a little yogurt sauce with cucumber in it to dip.
Nice. What's the total for everybody?
Total for everybody is a gold.
Done and done.
It's pretty grabbing.
Good eats.
It's good eats. It's real good eats.
So yeah, we can walk and talk. What are we thinking?
I just want to hear what Question says about this. I think of everybody that we've been talking to, Question's been the most straight shooting of the
Consistent?
bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even, Prolix, who seemed like a pretty decent person, every single time we come back, it's like, actually, I talked to the bosses and it's going to be one more thing. And we keep hearing this time and again with them. So,
So Prolix is with the Allegiance of Allsight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what was it, of the Cobalt Soul? That was with who Question was with, and they're sort of allied, right?
No.
they were on friendly terms, at least.
Right.
In that
over in
and they got along because they were, kind of
not the
working on
red team.
a similar project. Yeah.
Yeah, the
But,
red team was the Vermilion Consortium.
Yeah.
Right?
But these are
Consortium of the Vermilion
these are
Dream.
competing
Thank you, yes.
factions.
Yeah,
And then
everybody
we
wants
also
a piece
heard
of the
about
pie.
the Sentinels of Memory.
Yeah, fourth
Who are
faction
like-
suddenly entered.
Yes. I feel like we probably don't even want to deal with them. We don't even want to seek them out because they sound like
they're going to seek us
gonna
out
be
as well.
antagonists.
yeah. We'll run into them sooner than later, I'm sure, and then it won't be good. They don't seem like the type that would be cool with us having a what was it called? The necklace.
The jewel, the
Vestige of
jewel of three,
divergence.
the jewel of three prayers.
Yeah, a vestige of divergence. I feel like they would want to go bury that somewhere. Sounded like, since it has to do with the past.
Yeah.
If I understood their deal correctly.
Well, Roger, take your chance. You can tell your girl that she should switch teams if she wants to actually get down to Kalmara, because I think she seemed to just be interested in the quest and the knowledge and the journey.
She was interested too. Yeah.
Cares what color robe you're wearing.
She left a smiley face on our map. So is this all of Question's writing on our map? Is that what all this?
No,
I think that's us.
there's three different handwritings. The inns are all circled, and the Sunfire Forge by your friend over at the guild hall.
Yeah.
And then there's the steam gardens, which were marked by the woman who ran the Lap of the Gods. And then the Hands of Ord and the Library of Ayun were both marked by Question.
Damn, you really used all three different handwritings here. Holy
yeah,
shit.
man. Yeah,
damn.
I was fucking jury duty, not doing anything. I'm like, who wrote everything on this map?
Damn good DM is what that is.
Thanks. It's my pleasure.
All right. Okay. So let's we head over there. We go to the temple of the Library of Ayun. And
Sure.
We are looking for Question. I'd like to speak with Question if possible.
The bookkeepers at the entrance nod and recognize you and direct you to wait at a small table inside the library.
Mm-hmm.
It will be just a few moments, sir.
Of course.
and then Question comes scampering out about 15 minutes later and looks delighted at all of you and says, "Hi, hi."
Wanted to check in. It's been a day. Thought we should check in and see how everything's going. How's everybody doing around here after my unfortunate friend's behavior?
Oh, we're fine. We get you'd be surprised at how often fanatics come in here and make unfounded threats about the Temple of Ion. The Sentinels of Memory in particular are.
We just heard about them.
Oh, really? They're they're really something.
All right. Well, So we've found up some information, and we wanted to hear since we've been so open with sharing information here. We're going to be going down to Kelmoro probably tomorrow.
Wow. Okay. That fast,
Uh,
huh?
Yeah, you know where it is, right?
I mean, I know the Allegiance has something, but I don't
That-
really. I haven't been down there myself.
Yeah,
but
yeah. That big hole in the ground is all them. So
I
that's
did
the,
figure that was, a big hole in the ground that meant that they had found something down there.
yeah. They're claiming that's the real deal down there. So, but we've been dealing with that.
How long has that been there?
Yeah,
The big hole in the ground?
Yeah.
A couple months.
What has Cobalt Soul been doing about the big hole? Have you been trying to get
I think
yourselves?
some of the higher ups have been down there and taken a look. The Allegiance is pretty okay with sharing things with us, as long as they get first dibs. That's just how they are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to. They're trying to get us to sign up on some sort of an exclusive contract or something like that. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But in exchange for that, they're going to let us.
Recruiting you already?
He's trying to.
That's funny.
But in exchange for that, trying to get us down there. But you've always been straight with us, so I thought we'd come talk to you before we go signing up or
Well, sure.
making anything official, because you've been very helpful.
I'm happy to help. It's sort of our calling here at the Temple of Knowledge.
To help people seek knowledge. So,
Yeah.
I want you to know that we're going to stay straight with you, despite what, even if Prolix manages to get us under their wing or their charter or whatever.
There's no reason we should be at odds if you join the Allegiance. We're
pretty allied.
We're pretty allied. We have academic competitions for sure, because everyone wants to be the first to discover things, and yes, Prolix and I are rivals in an academic sense, but
have you been down?
Politically, we're a-okay with each other. No, I haven't yet. I'm not really. Well, first of all, I get a little claustrophobic, and going down into the caverns underneath the city, where there's only one way in and one way out, and you're surrounded by pressurized water on all sides, doesn't sound great to me.
All right.
Mm-hmm. My sense of curiosity is unfortunately outweighed by my sense of self-preservation.
Anything? Let's say you could get down there. What would you want to look for? What would you be interested in finding?
Literally everything, every tiny piece of everything. What's the architecture like? What were their roads like? What did they use on the roads? What were they reading? What were they drawing? What were they using? What was their magic like? What was everything? Everything.
Well, I will be sure to take copious notes while down there.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else for the good of the Cobalt Soul, everybody? Because I think we're going back to the Crystal Chateau is what it sounds like.
Well,
you're signing on.
I think we have to. Yeah. We got to get down there.
Hey, before you do though, I have maybe a weird question. Why are you all so set on this?
Feels like a calling ever since we found out, our friend keeps talking about us being champions of merit, and it seems like kind of a big joke. But we started to hear about Elixian and everything that, was learned about the calamity and whatnot. It's kind of been a calling for us at this point. And everything we learn kind of leads us to rooting out corruption in the world, which is a worthy cause, whether it was back at the Betrayer's Rise, anything like that. So feels like we're on a mission from the gods at this point.
Destiny.
For
one reason or another. All
Yep.
of us were chosen.
But what's the mission? The mission is to root out corruption? The mission is to just find this place? What's the point of it all, Drocker?
I think that's what we need to go down there to get to Kelmoro to find out. It feels like we're being pulled and drawn this way, and not even sure exactly what we're trying to do. We believe it has something to do with Elixian, but I don't know if we're looking for Elixian or
Well,
if we're gonna find him down there. But it feels like we're being pulled in that direction. I'm trying to remember. Did we tell her about our visions? Can't remember if we did or not.
I
Now
don't
it
think
doesn't
you.
really
I
matter.
don't think.
I don't think you told her
played
about
that
your
stuff pretty close to the
visions.
vest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have told her, you have revealed to her that you have this artifact,
Yeah.
and who that is connected to. But the visions, only B team knows about, and that's because they were there for the first one.
Everybody who was drunk at the Lamb of the Gods. Clap the gods. There it is. I am. Make a wisdom
Yeah.
save.
Wouldn't shut up about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who talked about it while you were all not Silco. That's because Silco, you were so drunk you could barely remember how to do anything except play moon dance.
Okay, I should make a roll then because I would have been.
You two were most
bit too
closely
flirty.
chatting.
Yeah. I had the wrong
Is this a
screen
roll
on.
with disadvantage?
What is this? A
It's up
wisdom
to you.
save? What are we doing?
Yeah, we're making
that's
a
what I
wisdom
said.
save. Either a wisdom save or
abide-
a constitution save, depending on if you're if you would be loose lipped purely because of the drink or because it was questioned who was talking to you.
Not I didn't drink that much, so it would be a question thing. So it'd be a wisdom save.
Wisdom
Alright.
save then.
Yeah, because I was the one who didn't drink.
You
She knows
100%
everything.
told question everything. every tiny detail that you can remember.
No wonder she left X's and O's. All right.
She's like,
I told her some
"Thanks
serious.
for all this juicy info." So she will nod and she'll look at you and she'll say, I guess just you've talked about the visions and what he asked of you, but have you ever thought about what kind of a person asks the gods for power 3 times? I mean, you either have a hero complex bigger than all of Exandria, or you just want that power. And I don't know about you, but the people that I know with either of those things are not necessarily good people.
All right.
And just think about it. I don't.
If we find Elixian, doesn't mean we're necessarily buddies. Is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
All
Or
right.
that. What does it mean to save him or rescue him or find him? And if he still has all of his power, what do you do then? And maybe there was a reason the gods left him down there.
Whoa.
All right.
Just
Damn.
Some things to think about.
Yep. All right.
And I think the Allegiance will get you down there for sure. It sounds like they're going to do that pretty fast.
Yep. I imagine in 2 weeks they'll get us down
there. If you find
them
too regimented for your taste, too power hungry, then I think the Cobalt Soul would be happy to make use of your talents as well. And we could also use our connections with the All-Sight to get you down there. It definitely wouldn't be as fast, but the option is open to you.
All right. Good to know.
Question: I haven't mentioned all to them either, but maybe you could explain since the Sentinels of Memory has been brought up, but maybe tell them a little bit about the Scarbearers and also the Veil.
Oh, I don't know anything about the Veil. Why would I know anything about the Veil? I mean, the the Veil is the mob. The Veil is the mob that they run the underworld in Ank'Harel. I don't know anything about them. But the Scar Bearers are the mercenaries of Ank'Harel. You know, I think the Allegiance uses them for guarding the hole.
All right.
Oh, those are those kitted out guys we saw.
Okay. We walked by. Yeah. Okay.
Scar Bearers,
and-
that's quite a name, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they run the Coliseum thing over in the Sand Herald district.
So gladiators by day, guards also by day.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a tough bunch.
Just something to know if you're shopping for a faction.
All right. So
Yeah,
Just
politics in this town, right?
What, like,
Yeah,
go, like more options to go knock up on their doors? Like, hey, by the way, we'll join the gladiator fighters, or hey, by the way, we'll join the criminals.
I want to be open with all the options
Can we
available
just-
here.
Can we just go sign up with the rich wizards within sight of the palace walls, please?
That have a direct route to the place
go-
we need to go.
we're going there right now, Soko. Thanks a lot, question.
Yeah, of
Although
course.
I appreciate the honesty.
Trying to think. We're going down into a place surrounded by water again. Question: you want to hold on to some books for me?
Yeah,
And then,
always. The good books.
well, you wrote one of them.
Oh, you're giving it back? Are you done with it already?
No. If we're going down into a place surrounded by water, I don't have a convenient way of keeping them safe unless you have watertight book holders here in the library. Then no.
Might have some.
Oh.
I could probably requisition one for you, but it might take me a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we're probably by tomorrow. I imagine we're probably going to
Maybe.
try. Okay.
Yeah,
We have our sending stones here, don't we? We can.
yeah, we do. You still have my
Yeah.
other one.
If somebody does, I can get it back.
Yeah, let me take a look because I'm pretty sure we have some of those.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'd rather keep them on me, especially because I haven't. I have plenty more to read, but
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, if I can get you want just the one. I mean, I can probably only get you the one. Actually, should not.
well, is it to protect one book or is it to what?
No,
is it?
it's like a bag. It can hold, I think 6 books if you really cram them in there.
I have 4, so that'll be good.
Then you're good.
All right, perfect. Amazing.
Okay.
I was just making stuff up. I didn't know that was really a thing. Cool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You know, we got to take books down there.
Yeah. All right.
Do we have a picture question? Did we ever get like an NPC character picture of her?
I don't know that one.
I think that was a token, but I don't know if that was the actual picture.
I don't know that one exists. Let me look. She's a tiefling. She's a blue tiefling.
Yeah, that's
with
right.
sort of curly hair and
That's a tough one to come by.
Yep, there's no picture of her. It's just she's just a blue tiefling.
All right.
It doesn't even say she's blue. I've made that up. She's just a tiefling.
I think I got it for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Discord.
Yep. Ah.
Yes, that is a picture of, I'm pretty sure, Jester from Critical Role, but yes, that is essentially the same vibe. So
Yeah,
yes,
that's just definitely Jester.
I'm sorry, I don't know any
There's
of
no
these guys.
Russian accent.
I do that blind
you're
all
good.
the time.
Yeah, Jester. She's not Jester.
Yep, Drocker's in love. He's yeah.
I said it in a heartbeat.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who can blame you? Somebody who
Yeah.
looks like that and it has
Yep.
access to knowledge and is adorable and fun. Yeah,
Yep.
who wouldn't
Quirky,
be?
yeah. Yep.
She's great. We all love Question.
Yep.
But you
I'm with
know,
you.
you don't want to date where you work, right? So this is good.
This is good. Yeah.
Sign up
Yeah.
with the-
This is the
yeah.
way. This is the way.
Deliberately don't join the Cobalt Soul so you can
Right.
date the Cobalt Soul.
Smart.
Mhm.
Gotta play that 4D chess.
Or do you join the Cobalt Soul because you want to get in real good with her and you don't want to date within her rival faction?
Oh man.
Oh no, that kind of
Mm.
tension and conflict is good for the relationship.
Yeah.
You know.
Plus, you don't see each
Little bit
other
of
every
help
day.
from
Work in different places.
No, you can go. Just it's fine. We get along. You can go sign up for the Crystal Chateau. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I swear,
Go
it's
ahead.
fine.
No, I want you to.
It's okay. Fine.
They're the
Right.
what are they actually called? The faction that stays at the Crystal Chateau?
The Allegiance of All Sight.
Allegiance of All Sight.
Yeah.
The Allegiance of All Sight. The
Mhm.
AOA.
The AOA.
Age of
I need
Apocalypse.
something better than my notes. I need like a full flow chart on the wall for the amount of.
At the end of this campaign, I'm gonna have to take a picture of the notebook that I have, which is
yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can only imagine.
Oh. I didn't use it tonight, but I did actually pick up a rocket book from.
yeah,
That's a,
yeah. I have.
Ah,
Heck yeah! There you
me too.
go.
Lauren almost did. Lauren was this close.
I bought it from Adi.
Nice. That's a good gift. Yeah, I thought about picking up one of those, and then I was like, no, I have a system. A terrible system.
I'm too addicted to paper and little scratch notes floating around me in piles.
honestly,
Little
that'll probably get used more for school. I'm thinking, just
Yeah.
especially because it ties into Google, the Google Cloud and whatnot. We use that so much at work. That'll be real easy.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. All right, you have a productive conversation with Question. You have some choices to make about what you would like to do with the Allegiance of All Sight. I think this is where
we've done it.
Leave it tonight.
Yeah, I think we've
you have-
agreed.
You
Yeah.
have
The
tentatively.
Cobalt Soul wouldn't let Trezor join.
We'll
us.
see how Trezor feels about joining.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have one more party member to discuss your potential future with, and next time you have probably some papers to sign.
Oh,
Yeah.
signing
Speaking
papers.
of next time,
Oh,
we will. I'll bring this up in the Discord too because Tom's not here. The next Friday, we will either have to end at 10 p.m. because I gotta go to an airport to pick somebody up at midnight, or we can play in 2 weeks on a Saturday again if this works for everybody, and we can do our regular time.
the Saturday worked great for me.
Saturday has worked for me as well, but it's really up to you guys. Anyway, we'll figure
Throw
it
it
out.
out and see what Tom says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to have my wife check my schedule.
Very
Yeah,
good.
we do appreciate that. Thank you, Lauren, keeper of the family calendar.
Yeah. Emily works Friday and Saturday, so it's a wash for me. Actually, it's better because then I could do jujitsu on Friday. So
Mhm.
So you see, you had to go and say that because I'm thinking like that would be a nice window for the second part of that Tiberia game.
oh,
If
I mean,
if Tom
you
was
could
on
al-
hand.
there's
I still have
also-
the shadow.
there's also
I
some
still have the
other-
shadow game to run.
Yeah.
But, that's a little easier to coordinate. So
cool.
we'll squeeze
We
things
got, we
in.
got games to play. All
We
right.
do.
we got
Yeah.
games.
I was telling Jake I was going to shoot for. I'm thinking end of August for a return to Baldur's Gate. Since we're meeting in person, I was thinking let's wait until after the school year starts and get back into it.
Just so because that's everybody's schedules in your game because that's the all family game.
In person family game.
Yeah.
The kid game. I'm going to kill off all the adults. It's just going to be kids playing. So
Right.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
yeah, well, and
Your character
and all the
can
characters-
hover around like Force Ghosts and give advice.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. Yep.
the game is going literally to hell. It's where do you think your characters are going to go?
Yeah, right.
Is that what's happening in this
Well, I
campaign?
thought they're all good guys and nice guys, so.
You guys just go further and further into the
Yeah.
earth. Yes. Spoilers. Yes. Now you'll find out
boy.
where you're going.
Yep. But I'm painting hella miniatures, buying hella miniatures. I'm getting the bug, so we're gonna make it happen.
Nice.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Milo.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
This
you.
was fun. Hopefully,
This
it
is
felt
always great.
like we made some progress this time as opposed to
You
last
made a
time.
lot of progress.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You did two faction missions. That's great. You have an
Yep.
offer of employment on the table. Also good. You established that you definitely have a crush on Question. That's great for me to know, so that I can kill her
Yeah.
off in a very, very
Awesome.
moment.
Yeah.
Yep. I
Paul
love
got
that.
to
Just
run
have-
his new character.
Trying to give
in
you story
combat
opportunities.
Yep.
I failed to kill Paul for another week.
and
Also
almost died
good.
twice.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Keep wearing the shirt. Keep wearing the shirt.
Keep wearing
Yep.
the shirt. It's worked well for you so far.
Yep.
I like that you keep coming closest. That's what you get for making a character with 30 hit points.
What's really funny is that like it would not be in my interest to kill off IKIF at this moment. I have a lot tied into IKIF. Me personally as a DM, there's a lot of threads coming from IKIF that I would like to continue pulling on.
Ikif, just stay close to the guy with spare the dying cantrip. You're all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Stay within 30 feet of him.
My spare the oh, by the way, I didn't throw the color in there, but my spare the dying cantrip is absolutely a defibrillator. It's
That's great.
that's my suit. It's just crackles with energy, and just
You bastard. That's wonderful.
That's really good. Really, really good.
Yep.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, good night,
right.
everybody.
Good
Yeah,
Good night,
thank you
everybody.
again. Good night, everybody.
I'm gonna go play.